Yes. An absolutely charming name that's not suspicious whatsoever. All right. Mm-hmm.
Billy, I'm not getting your audio on YouTube.
All right, it's back now. Let's try this again. Can YouTube hear me now? Hello, hello, YouTube. Can you hear me? Let's hope so. And I'll start over the description. Sorry, y'all. Let me just make sure that... Can you hear me now out there, Diamond? Okay, you can hear me. I got confirmation that we have YouTube audio. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Sorry, everybody. We'll go back through that again. Mainly want to make sure that we give our shout outs and thank yous to everyone who is supporting the stream. Saffron for your support and new subscription, joining the Discord as well. And to Nathan, Aaron, Two Wolf Design, and Richard. Richard's all the way across the pond on the other side of the world from us, and has got a Patreon subscription, is in the Discord, and is subscribed here. So make sure you do the same, ring the bell, and subscribe. We're gonna pick back up where we left off last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, as our characters, Garrow, Owen, Teo, and Dinar, have found themselves on an iceberg, traveling to a village to see some ice hunters, see if they know anything about a lost member of the Arcane Brotherhood. Apparently they were last seen in this area, so perhaps this village maybe has seen them. As you approach the village, there are about 20 structures out on the flat center of this iceberg, the plateau, snow swirling around every time the wind blows. It just wisps another heavy band of snow across. About 20 structures, from snow block shelters to seal skin tents, most of them one room family dwellings, it would appear. The largest structure in the village sits center and is surrounded by all the others. No smoke rises above the village. And how do you approach? You're kind of on this ridge that's overlooking down into this flat area.
If
Would
I
it be
remember correctly,
possible
we were
to?
with a ship's captain. And he was coming to deliver something.
That's correct. You were with the
Yeah,
ship captain.
So Dinar's. I also remember Dinar, where we were told, like, be super careful, follow me, I know what I'm doing. So Dinar is going to turn to the ship's captain and say, how do you want us to approach this?
And what were you going to say, Gareth?
Do I see any? Is there like a good sledding hill nearby? Is this ridge, in other words, going down into the village, something that I could sled down?
I mean, you could. Yeah, it's not a really long hill. It's probably only maybe 10 feet long or so, but it's, you could sit down and kind of slide down it if that's something you wanted to do. It's definitely ice.
He's thinking about it.
Okay.
As Dinar is talking, you can see Gara wandering over to the edge and sort of looking down curiously.
Yeah, it's a 10 or 15 foot hill. It's not super steep. It doesn't look like you would be injured if you did it. And the captain says, yes, this way, we stay on the main path. It will not be too, we will not invoke hostility, perhaps, if we stay on the main path. Should we come in from a different way, they may think we are warriors looking to fight.
All right.
Oh,
Dinar will stay
okay.
on the main path and follow this captain then.
Gara looks a little disappointed, but we'll follow.
I mean, you could still slide down the hill. It's right, the path goes down the hill. So.
I'm a team player. I'm going to follow along.
Okay. There's a yurt standing apart from the rest of the shelters. As you get closer, and you can kind of see a little bit more of this willage through the snow that's swirling around. There are many animal totems and whalebone carvings all around that hut. And as you get into the village, you hear barking beginning before you can see it. Very loud. It sounds like a lot of dogs barking. And just moments later, you see people coming out of tents and yurts and buildings. The ice block buildings start to empty out. There are probably 50 people in this village that have turned out, and you see the dogs are about 12 of them tied up in a nice pen. Doesn't look like they're held against their will necessarily. It's just a pen for holding sled dogs.
Gara wants to pet the dogs.
The captain will warn you against that, saying that they don't know who you are. It's possible they could mistake you.
Oh, okay. And Gara will just give a friendly wave to the village.
And two come forward, dressed in what you assume is the traditional dress of these people. Furs, heavy furs, nicer than the others are wearing. Headdress. One appears to be a man, and another a woman that stepped forward. They speak in a strange dialect to the captain, and he responds kind of brokenly, and he leans back. He says, I just told him we're here to trade, nothing else. And
Gara will give the captain a wink.
right on.
Dinar is going to sort of stand stoically. He doesn't know what these people's cultures are. He doesn't know what kind of gestures, what different gestures or something mean to them. So he's going to try and stay neutral and not do something that might be taken the wrong way.
The what you assume is the chieftain responds to the captain in this strange dialect. Any of you could roll a intelligence here to see if you know what this language is. I'll give you a shot at it. Although you probably haven't ever heard it before.
I think Garrow should be at disadvantage because he's lived in a sewer his whole life.
Yes, that sounds
And yet I
good to
still
me.
rolled a
Yeah,
17.
apparently Garrett's really lucky. So there you go.
Hey, I hear things in the sewer, you know.
Is that everybody?
It's also possible there's some similarity between the
No, give me
bone
a second.
carving,
I'm having some issues here.
the bone carvings that are here and the type of goblin carvings that Garrow used to do. Oh,
A nat 20.
All right, then.
Owen, you've heard of this language, although you can't understand it. They're speaking a language known as Uluik, Uluik. You've never heard it spoken before, but you have heard that people of the ice have their own language, and it is this language. The rest of you have no idea what this language is, even with a 24, Diamond. Yeah, it's a DC pretty high on that one.
I wonder if any of them speak common.
And they look at you suddenly. When you say that, every villager, the chieftain and the person by their side, they all look at you.
Oh, hi. Hey there. I think maybe you do understand me. Hi, I'm Garrow. This is the group, the United Adventure Company.
You can tell. Actually, the
All right,
the
this is
chieftain will
Dinar's
first.
Constitution save to not facepalm. Dinar does not facepalm.
Okay.
He wishes he would. He wishes he could, but that's probably not helpful in this circumstance.
The captain quickly tries to recover. Everybody, make me a. What would that be? In Delta, I want to say human because that's Delta Green, and I've got Delta Green on my brain lately, but it's not. Insight. That's the one for D&D. Insight check on this group.
Insight.
Wow.
Ooh,
Another
that's
nat
Kara's
20.
on top of his game today.
And a
And,
nat.
oh, it is not.
Oh, and
Okay,
look,
so
snowflakes.
hang on. Every time I do a roll right now, it's asking me whether what is popping up and asking me whether it needs to be public or a whisper. What have I changed to make it do that?
Should be a setting on your character sheet. Let me look at your character sheet real quick. If I can find your character sheet.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
I found it.
good.
Yeah.
I was going to change it for you, but you found it before I did. So those of you, let's see, Dinar and Garrow. Meanwhile, Teo and Owen are looking at some snowman that some children nearby have made, and they're throwing snowballs at it. You find this quite interesting, the two of you. But Dinar and Garrow, you notice the crowd looks a little aggressive once you've started talking. Many of the tribal warriors grip their weapons. Some of them even tilt them forward.
Oh, hold up. So he holds his hands up, palms out, and says, we're not here to cause any trouble.
The chieftain speaks back to the captain in his language, and he says, they want to know why you're here.
We're looking
The
for...
captain says that?
Yes, the captain is kind of acting as a translator.
All right.
Well, tell him we're looking for,
We're here on the trail of an individual who reportedly went missing around these parts.
Right. So he'll kind of relay that. And the chieftain looks at the one next to them and kind of around the village, looks back at, we have no one here, basically is what he says. I'm not going to do the back and forth. I'll just tell you what the captain says. They say no
Yeah.
one's here. They haven't seen anyone. You should be on your way.
Pretty abrupt.
So how far? This is something I'm asking the rest, or like I'm not specifically asking them this, but how far are we from the place where they reportedly went missing?
You're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
If anyone ever did see them, you knew that they were going up this way to study something.
Mhm.
This is the only civilization you've seen. It would make sense that if there was somebody around.
Well, maybe someone other than the chieftain has seen this person. Has anyone heard of McCath? He'll just say to the crowd. Arcane Brotherhood.
Yeah. So Dinar was specifically not trying to mention that. So, yes, we were told to look into an individual not from around here who was doing some study and reportedly disappeared around these parts. And Dinar will try and give like a brief physical description, which
Right.
he's fairly certain will not be perfectly translated into their language.
Yep. Owen and Teo, make me a perception check. Wisdom. The kids have stopped playing with the snowman and have gone into their tents nearby. The mood seems tense around you. The chieftain will speak back and says, perhaps they were eaten by the sea monster nearby. That happens a lot. Travelers don't know about the sea monster.
Do I believe
What
him?
can you tell me about the sea monster?
And he'll ask that question to the chieftain, who, great beast, can eat an entire ship. Just comes up out of the water, freezes them in place, and eats them. Go check the bones on the shore if you don't believe us. And he points kind of towards the waterline. You're on a floating iceberg. You know you had to search these people out, so just keep that in mind.
Can I do an insight check? Does he seem like he's telling the truth?
Sure, go for it.
Dinar is going to do one as well, but he does not suspect this person of lying.
Seems legit to you.
Does the sea monster does it stay in the same area, or does it roam around, looking for prey?
It roams the frozen ocean looking for the next ship to eat. You're lucky that you made it to the shore.
Indeed. So Dinar is going to turn to the party. It's like a monster that comes out of the water and freezes people. That actually narrows it down quite a bit. There are not that many creatures that both can swim and can freeze things. I think we should take a look at this sea monster.
Can we roll nature to see if we can identify what he's describing, or some skill?
Sure, and I'll let Dinar, if you have that, you can roll with advantage.
I mean, my nature isn't excellent, but I'm
okay.
actually going to use guidance.
This is something that probably Owen would be good at.
Mm-hmm. Or not.
I'm supposed to be good at it, but yeah, no.
You're not in your element. You're in the snow.
Yeah, well, it's a 13, so not that great.
Our rolls have been pretty on fire tonight.
Your rolls are on fire, and what's strange is you're the one that gets it because you've lived in a sewer, but you've heard stories of monsters of the frozen ocean, right? Your culture is all about telling stories. Growing up, you've heard stories of this winged monster that lived in the frozen ocean that could not only swim but fly and freezes people with its breath.
I think we found our lead.
This does seem like a story I've heard before. Thought it was maybe only a legend, but who knows?
Dinar is going to say to the captain, in hopes that he'll translate, do you know where it was last seen?
He asks. And at this time, the woman steps forward, about half a step, and speaks. She says to the captain in their language. Yes, it was. The beast was described. Was destroyed over a year ago by frost giants, and she says there and points kind of to the opposite side of the iceberg from where they said to go check those bones, and said the bones are on the water side of the ice shelf. That's all that is left of the monster. We are grateful that it has been destroyed. It tormented us for years. Finally, we feel safe to go out after this beast of a monster was killed.
Dinar is again going to turn to the party and it's like, that's interesting. I think we should go investigate the corpse of this large beast.
Might as well, since we're here.
So Dinar will turn to the ship's captain and say, "Thank you for your time. We will trouble you no longer if you wish for us to leave."
Oh, we can stay, eat. They're a hospitable group. You can stay.
I'm not sure I want to eat any
it's like
seal meat.
I mean, I'd be willing to stay, but just if they want us to leave, then that's what we will do.
And everybody make me another perception check as you're kind of standing there talking about what to do next. Oh, wow. Dinar's on it this time.
Good Lord, I got that one nat 20 and I haven't been able to get a good roll since.
Drat.
Dinar, out of the corner of your eye, as you're talking, you turn to talk to the party. When you turn back around to make your decision and announce, you notice that a few of the villagers that were standing nearby are gone. And you also notice that you've become encircled by the rest of the villagers. Like, as you're talking, they've kind of spread out into this circle surrounding your entire party. It happened slowly as the conversation was kind of going back and forth, but you look around for those few that are pretty distinguished looking, like you could tell them apart from others. And you see them disappearing into a large structure not far from the center of the village.
Well, Dinar is going to say to the captain, "It's like, please tell them that we're going to leave and not trouble them, because I feel like they don't believe that."
And he says it back to them in their language. And they say thank you. Have a safe journey, and we shall wish upon you a warm travel.
All right. Dinar is going to head. He still wants to investigate the creature's corpse, so he's going to head in that direction. He's not going to pull his weapon. He's going to walk calmly, and when he gets to the circle, he's just going to try and walk by.
Okay.
He does not know their word for "excuse me," but
sure. The woman that was speaking, as you kind of turn to head in that direction, she waves for the people to kind of part their way and start heading through as the crowd opens up. And just as you're breaking that line, the chieftain, he'll say to the captain, "It will be dark soon. Are you sure you don't want to stay the night and try this in the morning?" And
Sure, if they have any pastries or sweet things, because that could change my opinion about staying.
I somehow doubt it.
Captain says, no, they don't do sweets here. It's fish meat and seal meat. That's about it.
Garo looks pretty disappointed and like he doesn't really want to stay.
Yeah. Dinar is like Dinar does not want to upset these people, so he has the Dragon Sanctuary. He's willing to just camp outside by himself.
Yeah, tell him that we like camping. We'll be fine.
Let's, like, tell them rather that we certainly appreciate it, and if you would have us, then we will come, but we don't wish to disturb you.
And he relays the message, and they come back with, of course you can stay. We just didn't know your intent. If you're only here to verify the death of, what do they call him? Old White Death? Then...
Oh, yeah. The monster, huh?
Yes, they had a name for him. Old White Death was the monster's name. The captain says, yes, Barking Seal and Bone Carver will let you stay the night.
Dinar will say, many thanks, and we shall be out of your way come morning.
Well, I guess we're staying then. Garo looks a little bit forlorn.
Yeah, and as you walk kind of behind this crowd, Dinar, you've kind of been glancing at that main structure the whole time, just checking it because you saw those adventurers going, or those villagers going into that hall, and you've seen them come out, and now there seems to be, as you go that way, some guards standing outside that larger building. About 4 of them. Barking Seal, the chieftain, tells the captain, he points to an area of open space far from the village hall. He says you can sleep there. And one of the village warriors, massive warrior, in fact, walks forward. Behind him are several villagers, and they have with them some whale bones and seal skins and whatnot. And they kind of walk over to the area and toss them all on the ground. And just look at you, and they kind of wave like, here's your tent,
Is this massive warrior more massive than me?
He's about your equal.
Okay. Is he carrying any
Dinar will
weapon?
nod and turn to the captain and is like, do you know how to set this up? I could give it an attempt, but I've never done this before.
Oh yes, I can help us. We can do this. It's easy. And he takes out his ice pick hammer, kind of chips some holes in the ground, sticks a whalebone in. It sits in a fork of the others, and then it's capped with a small, probably seal rib cage to give the top of the tent kind of a curved face or curved top. And then he shows you just throw the skins over the top of it, kind of making a makeshift tent.
Dinar will do that. And he's going to turn to the rest of the party and say, I don't plan to use magic while within their walls because I do not want to arouse suspicion. So we sleep here tonight.
Garo looks even more upset.
Yes, the warrior that you see has a large shield and a nice crafted whalebone spear.
Garo will sort of stand up straight and sort of flex a little in his general direction.
He looks at you. Are you doing it as an intimidation or just as a warrior to warrior
It's like a warrior to warrior
chest
thing? Yeah.
Like I recognize your warriorness,
Yeah.
right? That okay.
Yeah.
And he'll give kind of the flex in the same response. The language of warriors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dinar does not speak the language of warriors.
That's fine. I just wanted to just see what was this dude's deal, but he seems cool. Garo nods in approval.
Does it look like we are being guarded
No, not necessarily. People are uneasy around you, but they don't like post a guard on you or anything like that.
Okay.
There are folks, village tribal warriors that are kind of wandering around, but it looks like a normal interaction, right?
Dinar's going to turn to the captain and say, "What will you do? Do you plan to spend the night here or head back to your ship?"
I will go back to my ship and check on my men. I will come back in the morning.
Would you like me to accompany you, or how would you like me to do this?
I can find my way. I've made the journey many times. I have finished my business here, and then I must set off before it gets too late.
Very well. Safe travels.
Yeah, watch your step on those ice steps.
Absolutely. I will see you all on the morrow. And he heads off towards that structure that's sitting away from all the others, the one with all the whale bones, carvings, and totems outside of it. You see he's greeted by the chieftain. He takes the chest in and sits down. Do you watch him, or do you all want to do something else?
I might, just, observe for a little bit longer what's happening over there.
Okay. Yeah, after a while. Go ahead, Teo.
The yurt with the children that were playing with the snowman. When I have an opportunity, I am going to slink off towards that yurt to see if I can track down the kids again.
Okay. Owen doing anything? No?
Nothing in particular.
Okay. How about Dinar doing anything different?
Dinar is planning to head to bed, but he's also looking over his holy book to see if he has magic that would allow him to speak with these people without needing to translate.
Okay.
So I am looking at the cleric spell list to see if I have comprehend languages. I think I actually don't, but I want to make sure.
Right. Girl, you watch for a little while.
Do I see a shadowy place near there where I could shadow step and get a better?
Not really. That building kind of sits all by itself. Although the sun is getting low. The days are very short here. It would appear. You thought you would have more daylight, which is why when they said it was going to be dark soon, you didn't much worry, right? But it's already, the shadows are long from the huts. So there is a shadow cast by the building itself. You could probably shadow step into.
If I can poof closer, I will, just to, subtly listen in on this conversation. Garrow's ninja instincts are kicking in.
Okay. Yeah, you poof over there.
And I crouch in the shadow. Should I roll stealth or?
Yes. Roll stealth for me.
Oh, come on, Garrow. You can do better than that. 13.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's my guys? They're there. Okay. Yeah, you duck down. You see that there are two tribal warriors outside the front entrance of this, armed with more of those whalebone spears. And you can hear talking. It's not hushed, but they're not talking loudly either. Can't really understand what they're saying, but you pick
Is the tone any different than earlier, or
the tone is more friendly in this case, and you can kind of hear the cadence of the conversation back and forth is relaxed. It sounds like a negotiation. Oh,
all right. Well,
just turned off.
Since I can't understand, and since things seem to be, on the up and up, I'll just shadow step back to the group.
Okay.
No one's any the wiser.
Okay. Yeah, you pop back, and shortly after you get back, the captain comes out. He has a bundle of seal skins and what look like leathers, basically, a fairly large bundle on his back, and he sets out and leaves the village.
Oh,
I
everyone seemed to
do
be
have something.
everyone seemed to be on edge when we got here, but things seem to have relaxed now.
I mean, I feel like it's wise to be wary of strangers you meet, but we mean no harm. So hopefully they're not that upset. And over this night, I'm going to switch out a couple spells. So I'm going to drop silence and prepare tongues. That was the spell I was thinking of, was tongues. And I'm going to drop lesser restoration and grab control water.
Okay.
Garo might build a snowman somewhere near the camp. Teo can help if he has time.
Okay.
Or Owen.
Teo, while this is going on, you've kind of disappeared from the camp. You found the small tent, but you don't see any of the children around. You see footprints in the snow leading different directions. This looks like a kid tent, like almost like a clubhouse. For lack of a better term, like this is just like a little hangout space for where the kids go. You can see there are small little totems that they've maybe carved or put together with different animal bones that they have kind of wedged together to make different sculptures.
Okay. I'm going to rearrange the sculptures into a circular pattern so that they're all kind of, in a circle.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that easily enough.
All right. And then you mentioned something about footprints. I'm going to see if I can investigate a little bit of foot traffic to see if I can figure out a little bit of the comings and goings of this village, and see what the traffic pattern is, shall we say?
Sure. Yeah, from here, most of the footprints are small, child-sized footprints that head towards the main village. The way the village is laid out, there isn't actually a map for the village, so you have to use a little theater of the mind here. Is circular, like you would think, and then off on one side is the large hall, and then away from everyone else is what you assume is the chieftain or the shaman's hut, or maybe they both live there. But most of the traffic goes to you kind of follow the footprints around, and most of it goes into that large building, the large structure that is guarded currently.
Are there any footprints out of town?
Yeah, you see tracks that lead off in different directions. But then you also see tracks coming back from those same directions. So probably hunting parties, or maybe the people just going for a walk.
So there isn't a dominant direction, like everybody seems to be heading east or something like that.
No, doesn't seem to be.
All right. My objective here is to try to track down a villager somewhere, just some random villager.
Oh, that's easy enough. There are people out and about. Sure.
All right. And I'll approach them and reach into my bag and pull out a jar of honey and offer a jar of honey over to the villagers that I come across.
Okay. You just kind of hand it out, like,
yeah, as basically a peace offering.
As an offering.
My hunch is they don't get a lot of honey in these parts, and it might provide an interesting breaking of the ice, shall we say?
Everyone's gonna love a nice sugary present.
They look odd at it, like.
So I'll open the jar and I'll dip a finger into the jar and scoop a little bit of honey up on my finger and put it into my mouth and taste it.
Garrett, you hear the jar open from wherever you are in the village.
The honey jar.
Honey jar. Like a dog hearing a banana peel.
Garo will rush over. And say, oh, hey, Teo. I thought I maybe heard you. Hey, what's going on?
I love that. I love that flavor. That is great. Yeah, so you do that. You scoop a little out, and you eat it, and you offer it to them again, and they tentatively and hesitantly they put their just barely touch their finger in it, and they touch their tongue with it. Immediately they start spitting and spatting it out on the ground, yelling, and they take off running towards the large structure. When they get there, that you can see them, their hands are waving and they're pointing towards you. What's your reaction to this?
Garo looks so confused at Teo. He's like, I guess they don't like honey. I didn't think it was possible.
You and me alike. I'll put the lid back on the jar of honey and put it back on my bag, and try to break line of sight between wherever the villagers went and wherever I am, to try to sneak off stealthily back towards our tent area.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You guys could roll a stealth to kind of slip off. I know, Gary, you could shadow step if you wanted to.
Gary will slink off in a different direction so he doesn't call attention to Teo. But yeah, he'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Wow, these rolls.
Seriously, what is that?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Right. Still, you feel good enough about your ability to kind of blend in. You think there's enough snow and ice that's stuck to your furs that you kind of look like maybe one of the villagers. You hunch your shoulders down and pull your hood up and, kind of wander off.
It'll be fine. I don't know what that guy's problem is.
It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Garo's pretending like he's been doing his snowman the whole time.
Yep. How about Owen and Dinar? Dinar, you're studying.
Yeah,
so
I'm studying and taking a long rest.
Yes.
Like it's dark. Dinar wants to be up early, so he's once he has those books, he's gonna immediately go to bed.
Okay.
And during the night he will pray to Bahamut for the wisdom to become a bearer of peace, to get the tongues. Just in case there are some miscommunications, let me say.
Right on. How about Owen? What are you doing, Owen?
Owen has no particular reason to believe that the village is hiding anything or the villagers are being deceptive, and so he's just trying to avoid all these humans that he's uncomfortable around.
Makes sense. You're in a strange place as well, and out of your natural habitat, if you will, in this frozen wasteland of an iceberg. You can kind of feel, though, as you're sitting there, it does feel as if you're moving, like you're floating on a very large boat, as you are in this frozen sea. Let's see what happens next.
So we have a tent, right? They gave us all the stuff.
Yeah, they basically gave you guys all a tent, and you all put it together, Dinar and the captain, and you all put it all together, and then you went off about your merry ways, doing your things.
I'm just curious about one thing. Are there a lot of sleds in the village? Do they use sleds?
Yes, there are sleds. There's probably 4 sleds and about 12 sled dogs.
That's very interesting. Garo is really interested in sledding, but he'll just make note of it for now. And if he can buy a personal sled, he might do it, but we'll see.
Okay.
In the morning. With his snow goblin finished, he retires.
All right. Retiring for the night. The sun is down. It's dark. It's cold. The wind howls against your tent. It's tough to sleep, but the warmth of the four of you in this small structure actually keeps you pretty warm.
This actually kind of reminds me of the sewers. You get in a big old bunch in one little tunnel and be very warm. So Garrett will quickly fall asleep and start snoring.
Okay. The next morning, you all awaken. The sun is bright, shining outside. It's making the tent structure that you're in almost glow through the seal skins and whale skins that have been stretched and dried. And you hear the wind is gentle this morning. The crackling of the snow. You can hear footsteps outside, people walking around. And then as you're kind of all stretching and yawning, wiping the sleep from your eyes, you hear several sets of footsteps, heavy footsteps walking up towards your tent.
Garrett will roll out of the tent and then stand up straight and stretch.
All right. As you do, when you kind of stretch and you come back down, you see that warrior, that one that you kind of bowed at yesterday and gave the warriors hello. You see him standing there with four of his tribal warriors. They look like pretty good warriors. Not like the guards you saw earlier. These look like fighter types.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their weapons out, their spears, and they point at you and kind of gesture their spears.
Garrett just kind of puts his hands up and says, I'm not sure what the trouble is, but we're all friends here, right?
And those of you who haven't come out of the tent, you hear that from outside.
Dinar is gonna, wake up, and he was planning to head off, at the first break of dawn, because he's clearly we don't have that much time in the day, but it seems like there's a complication. So Dinar is going to head out of the tent and see if he can find out what the complication is.
All right. Teo and Owen, do you rouse about as well?
Yeah. Oh, I'm already up. So
okay. Well, yeah, you don't sleep.
Yeah. I'll join the party outside the tent.
All right. As the rest of you step out, two of the four guard will kind of flank you, and it's obvious that they want you to start moving, and as you do, they'll fall in behind you. They're heading towards the shaman's and chieftain's hut. As you get closer, you see the shaman and the chieftain standing outside with a couple of guard and a villager. And they, as you approach, you hear the chieftain just starts unloading. Are you gonna, Dinar, are you gonna cast that spell before you get there?
Yes, I am.
I figured you would kind of do it on the way.
Yeah,
so.
I'm getting the description anyway, so
that's fine.
Here's tongues.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast it targeting myself, and it says this spell grants a creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understand what it says. So I'm gonna cast this on myself. And then what are they doing?
So you hear the chieftain is furious. Basically he's saying, how dare you come here and try to poison my people, offering them gifts of the slaying type. It's a very odd dialect that he's using, a very old style of language, but you can pick out enough of what he's saying basically to put the message together.
Yeah. So Dinar is going to say, and in using his magic, they can hear, they can understand. Is like, I am certain that wasn't their intent, and he's going to turn to Teo now and say, and because of tongues, everyone can understand this too. They think you tried to poison them.
Yeah, I think that's the honey guy, Teo. Pointing to
Yes,
the
and you
villager.
recognize the villager as the man, the one that you met yesterday that you offered the honey to.
I'll reach into my bag, pull out the jar of honey, and hand it to Dinar.
When you pull out the bag, the jar from the bag, the villager points at it, and Dinar, you hear him say, "That's it. That's what he tried to use against me. It's horrible."
So Dinar will hold this up and is like, taste, of course, is subjective, but I swear that this is absolutely not poison.
You eat it then. It's not.
Yeah, I'll
poison.
prove it. Garrow will
Dinar
literally...
will Dinar will like shove his hand in the thing and shove it in his mouth.
Yeah, Garrow's gonna get some too. It's like, ooh, yeah.
Honey time.
Honey
Yeah.
time.
Like, and
They're
he's
skeptical.
going to say, I swear to you, this was a good faith gesture of friendship.
You hear the shaman bone carver. She says in a hush, but you can still hear it because of the magic. She says, "They're probably using magic to protect themselves. I suggest the test." And the chieftain, barking seal, he says, "You are right, bone carver. Orcahart, step forth." And the large warrior that has escorted you here steps forward. And the chieftain says, "To prove that you are not here to cause us harm, we challenge you to a duel, an honorable fight, that this misunderstanding may be settled. Your
Garrow
greatest
looks
warrior
excited.
with our greatest warrior."
Oh, Garrow looks very excited. And he looks desperately at the rest of the party.
I mean, Dinar isn't going to do it.
I'm not the greatest warrior. I'm a lover.
Do you accept the challenge?
Garros will say, I accept. For the party, I'll prove with my fists that we ain't bad people.
Dinar is
Recognizing
a
the
little bit
irony in
confused
this.
about the whole thing.
Yes.
Is like this, but he's not going to specifically say because traditions are traditions.
You recognize the irony in this situation, but
Yes.
yes, because you are in a foreign land and this is apparently their custom. When they feel they have been wronged, they challenge the wronger to a duel.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, it does kind of make sense, right?
it'll prove that we're honorable based on how we fight.
Dinar, in that case, will stand aside and.
Yep, Garrow's ready. He'll follow their lead.
And the villagers come out. And you see the great warrior. He steps out with his whalebone spear and his shield, and he slaps it against. And the tribal warriors make a circle around and out here. It takes a while for everybody to come out, but eventually everyone gets there. You've done your little warm-ups and you're ready, right?
This is the same guy that I saw last night.
Yep, same guy that you kind of flexed at.
Awesome.
And they've called him Orcahart. And Barking Seal, the chieftain, he speaks loudly. The rules of combat shall be, and you can hear this.
Dinar will translate if they need it.
Right. No magic shall be used. This shall be... Where's the duel? Come back here, duel. There it is. An honorable duel. No magic is allowed to be used outside of the fighters. If no magic can be used to manipulate or affect the warriors, fight to the death ends the match.
All right, Garrow understands. He'll nod at Dinar as he explains.
Dinar is once again not really sure about this, but he feels like, intervening and saying, I don't think this is a good idea, will not help. So he's going to go along with it.
Okay.
And I just give a big thumbs up to Teo and Owen as I sort of go from, lighthearted Garrow into focused monk Garrow. And I give my opponent a bow. I'm not sure if he probably gets the gesture, but Garrow does it anyway.
Sure.
I offer Garrow another fistful of honey before the battle.
I'll take a quick dab, but
Yeah, get that little rush, that little sugar rush. Yeah. Cool. Where? There we go. If you want to throw your token on there, just so we can do an initiative, or
Sure.
we could do it by dex, whichever way you want to do it. But I don't know how much moving around you want to do in combat. So.
Well, I'll probably do a little bit of that. So maybe I'll just put myself on here just in case. I'll put myself towards the middle, or however we would start. And I mean, Garrow does carry a reinforced great club, but he's gonna, sort of theatrically toss it aside and just bring up his fists and go into a fighting stance.
Oh. Fantastic. He laughs and where's initiative on this thing? There it is. It's the little die. Oh, I forgot to bring up the turn tracker. Dang it. There we go. Oh, nice.
Just tell me when you want me to click initiative, and
You
I'll
can go ahead and roll. That's fine.
Got my token selected, so this should work. All right. Not as good as the gladiator.
So the gladiator makes the first move, and he will move in towards you. Let me find his character sheet again. Hang on. I've got so many tabs open right now. It's ridiculous. And let me. We're going to change the music too to some fight music. We need fight music. Let's see. Not Blighted Farm. Our music today is brought to you by Tabletop Audio. Tabletopaudio.com. Join their Patreon and get all of the awesome music. This is good. I think this is good. Yeah, this will work. This is good music for a fight. He steps forward, his shield up high, his spear in his right hand, comes forward, and with his multiple attack abilities, he will make 3 melee attacks on you. Yes, I said 3. 2 with his spear.
You say 3 to the monk.
He came to play. I get it.
Yeah. And then, so he will stab with his spear and then slam into you with his shield, trying to shove you backwards. Oh, all 3, 23, 22, 21.
Wow. Yeah, those will hit.
Those will hit. Okay. Then that's a total of 18, and 11 is 29 damage. Bam, bam, bam.
All right. Garrow takes a serious hit. 29.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant blow.
Absolutely, it is.
He's strong.
All right. Is it my turn now?
Yes, it is on you.
All right. Garrow's going to unleash a series of attacks. Let's do 1, 2.
Holy
3.
cow. How'd you roll a 30?
I got
your
a
first
plus
one
10.
came through. Your first one came through, so you counted 1 twice, so we'll drop the second one. That 13.
Oh. Right.
We'll drop that one out because the 17 came through. That's all 3 of them are hits, and 1 of them is a critical.
Alrighty. Then I will add on a nice little, this is something I haven't done yet.
Nice.
When you hit another creature, stunning strike. You can spend 1 key point to attempt a stunning strike. They must make a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of my next turn.
Saving throw, you said? Constitution?
Yes, and I guess the DC is... it doesn't really say,
It's
does
your
it?
key save DC, so 8 plus proficiency
Yeah.
plus wisdom.
Yep.
Proficiency plus wisdom. Sorry. I
And
just want to make sure I have...
Constitution. All right. He has advantage on Constitution throws, so that's a 16.
That
let's see,
might
what
not
is
be
it?
enough.
You said 8 plus proficiency, which is 3, which
So
is
that's
11. And then plus wisdom,
Yeah.
that's plus 5, right? So 17? No, wait, 16.
16.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate.
So he just makes it.
He just saves. Yeah. He looks a little dazed, shakes it off, and is ready to go again.
And let's see. That
He gives you a
was
knowing nod, like, that was a good, nice job. You know, like, good work. So that's 28, 38, 42 damage.
All right. Yep. That's all for me on this turn. And I'll
Nice.
also, because of my crusher feat, I can. Oh wait, my crusher feat. I did a crit, so that means.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let me post that description. I almost forgot. So when you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage, attack rolls are made with advantage against that creature until the start of my next turn. So probably actually doesn't help in this case because it would help more if there was someone else to attack before my next turn. But I do push him 5 feet back with my punches.
Boom. Okay. You push him 5 feet back.
And I'll step forward as part of my movement just to stay right in space.
Well, you
That's
have reach, right? So you can attack from 10 feet. You don't.
I can, and yet I'm still gonna do it this way.
Okay.
I could easily, probably outrun him right now, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Fantastic. A melee deals 1 extra dive. It stems when the gladiator hits. Oh, I forgot. Oh, it's included already. Okay. That's why he did such great damage last time. Yep. He has the brute feat, which or brute ability, which gives him an extra damage die.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's calculating it, so that's good. All right, here we go again. 3 blows again. He's going to try the same thing. 2 spears, 1 shield bash to try to shove you away. 20, 23, and then a 9. He has shield bash. He slips in the ice and doesn't get a good traction to slam into you. So another 23 damage from the 2 spears. And he will.
Ouch.
Got to be looking pretty bloody to us by now.
3.
Garrett's got some bleeding, but he also looks like
Actually,
he's not done
He's going to
yet.
stay there. He's not going to move. I was going to say he's going to move, but he's not going to move. He's not going to move.
All right, respect.
Yeah. He's not going to run from this fight. He's got some blood on him too, by the way. Just so you know.
All right. So let's do a flurry of blows this time. No more Constitution saving throws for him. So that's going to be 4 attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well,
Holy
it
cow.
seems like there is one roll Garrow can make.
What a fighting machine. Garrow, you land a flurry of blows in rapid succession. He sees you coming with the second one, and he will attempt to parry out of the way there on that one, which will give him a 19 AC for that attack only. So your first one lands, he parries the second one, but then in doing so, he leans right into your third, and your follow-up 4th punch lands. So doing 23, 34, is my math right there? 34 damage?
Yes, that's correct.
34 damage. Wow. You have broken his jaw. He is shaken. And
Okay.
the circle closes in, making the fighting ring even tighter. Just imagine, if you will, it was probably that big, and now I've got too many circles. So now it's like that big. Let me move those to more centered. Select. As you guys are kind of moving around. And there are people,
Right.
Just crowding in as this is getting exciting and fun to watch. His turn, he screams just so angrily. In fact, he throws his shield down, frustrated that it has failed him in the attack, and he grabs his spear with both hands. And again, this time with both hands, his spear attack.
Fingers crossed.
14. Let's see. Yeah, a 14 for the first one, then a 23 and a 26.
Well, those last two will hit for sure.
All right, so that's 18 and 13 for 31 more damage.
Ooh, Garrow looks bad. He's hanging on though.
He grunts and flexes after his last spear. He pulls it back, and he just looks like he's ready for the killing blow.
Let's see if I can get there first. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, all 4 of those will hit. He's so enraged, he just doesn't even worry about trying to dodge anything. Your first blow stuns him in such a way. He's just paralyzed by your first blow. Your next 3 the second one knocks him to the ground, and your third and fourth one just pummel him into the ice. And the shaman comes running up, shoves you away, and starts waving her hands. It's over. It's over.
Garrow will sort of step back. Still a little blood frenzied, but able, because of his monk training, to stop himself.
So he only had 36 hit points when he started that round, and you just did 28, 43. like you just pummeled him into the ice. 43, 50.
I only had 6 left, so
you got there first. Sometimes it doesn't pay to go first.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Good work, Garrow. The crowd cheers oddly for a champion has been selected.
Garrow will definitely revel in that cheering and hold his bloody fists up.
I reach over and I hand Garrow another serving of the honey. In fact, I just give him the whole damn honey jar and go, "Nice job, Garrow. Nice
Garrow
job."
Takes it gratefully and then just starts scooping spoonfuls into his mouth. Dabs a little bit on his wounds.
Yeah, let it soak in through the pores, right? Fantastic. So, oddly, fish begin hitting the ground around you, as if they're rewarding you with some sort of a tribute.
Cool.
The shaman...
It's like flowers, or...
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. The shaman speaks some words. Dinar, you recognize them as healing spell, as some healing spells. Lays hands and whatnot and heals their warrior. He stands up. He gives Garrow a slight bow and extends his hand in a handshake of gratitude.
Garrow will gladly grasp his hand and do that cool action movie like warrior hand grasp.
Yep. And the shaman grabs your other hand and raises it as the champion. And the crowd erupts and they invite you in. Now you've proven yourselves to them in some way, somehow. Maybe this was the plan all along. And the crowd begins heading towards the Great Hall.
All right, Garrow goes along with it. He's pretty banged up. He's took a lot of blows, so he's just, swept along with the whole thing.
Dinar is going to turn to the rest of the party and say, impressive as that may have been, we do need to get going.
And what's her name? can't remember her name suddenly, Bone Carver. She hears this. She's not far away, and says, "But you must feast first before you leave."
I think we can
A champion's
have
feast.
time for a quick feast, huh, Dinar? I'm hungry.
Not to mention you would need some healing too.
Yeah, Garo probably does.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Garo probably needs some healing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dinar will turn to them and say, very well.
And they lead you into this great hall where long tables, I say great, it's great in comparison to everything around it, right? So most everything else are these small little huts and whalebone structures. This is an ice cube structure like an igloo, but it's kind of long. There are tables laid out with plates, and servers begin bringing out huge slabs of meat.
Dinar is now significantly less concerned about them needing to go now. It's like, ooh, all right.
These large slabs of meat, like thirds of fish, are being laid out on every plate, and Bone Carver begins to speak to everyone there and says that, you know, this is in thanks for your worthiness that you have surely shown. You can stand among us as equals.
Well, thank you. That was a good fight. Your guy's really strong. As Garo pours honey on some fish and eats it all together.
Okay.
Dinar would like to turn, maybe not to the chieftain, but I guess he'll actually talk to the mage who organized the fight and healed the warrior, and he's going to ask. So we heard before that the great beast that swam and froze people is dead. Do you have any idea how it died?
It was killed by frost giants.
Ah, I see.
We don't know how they interacted, but yes, it was killed by frost giants. Yes.
Do you often see frost giants? Do they live here?
Oh yes, they live around.
Are they amicable, or do they tend to leave you alone and you them?
We keep our distance.
Makes sense.
Who all's eating the fish?
Dinar's going to eat fish.
Garo,
Garo.
along with the honey.
One's eating fish.
Owen is eating fish.
Yeah.
Is there any
If
sort
they
of
try
like
and
drink?
poison us, that would be ironic.
They have like do they have some sort of like alcoholic beverage, like fermented milk?
The
I don't
fish
know
is
what-
actually fermented. It's actually a fermented fish. But everyone who's eating the fish, I need you to make me a Constitution save, please.
So Stroming, basically.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, Dinar.
Garo.
Teo and Dinar, you each take 11 points of damage, poison damage. And
Glad I didn't take that.
the other two of you, this fish does not taste good at all. And as you taste it, you can make a. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I rolled wrong, but that's okay. As you're eating this fish, it's supposed to be 3d8, but I only rolled 2, so whatever. I'm not going to add any more to that. Y'all are about to suffer another effect anyway. So as Garo and Owen are kind of eating into the fish, and you taste it's very bitter.
Yeah, the honey definitely helps.
The honey helps, but it does not cut all of the bitterness. Teo and Dinar, you fall unconscious, and the two of you see Dinar and Teo land in the plates and kind of fall unconscious.
Whoa. I'm gonna look at Owen for his reaction.
I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, it tastes pretty foul, but it seems fine to me otherwise.
I'll look around at the room, like I'll Like, what's the reaction from the other people? Are they just eating like normal?
Yeah, everyone's eating as normal. They look over and kind of shrug, like, "Oh, so you can't handle the fish."
I guess it is pretty fermented. And Garrow's kind of feeling, I guess, a little drunk at this point, a little buzzed off the fermented fish.
Yeah, you're feeling a little buzzed off of it. Bone Carver says, "Oh, goodness." I don't. Once you go unconscious, I don't think the spell would continue, would it?
I mean, technically, it says I have to be able to hear them. I can't hear them if I'm unconscious.
Right, that's what I thought.
It's like, technically, the spell is still in effect, but it's not working for me.
But it's
right
not
now.
working, yeah. So Bone Carver starts speaking. It looks of concern on her face. But you can't understand what she's saying suddenly, and you realize
Right.
that Dinar is unconscious, as is Teo. She waves, and some folks come and kind of hoist up Dinar and Teo and start taking them away.
Oh, I guess they can just sleep it off. That's fine.
And do you,
But he looks a little concerned towards Owen.
do you kind of watch where they take them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably follow them out.
The ship's captain, is he gone now already?
Oh yeah, he was supposed to be back this morning. Remember, he said he would be back in the morning. He has not made it back yet, though.
Shame he missed the
We have
fight.
no way to communicate now.
But let's follow them, huh, Owen?
Well, Dinar has sending. Ooh. For all the help that'll do.
Thanks for the fish, but I guess I should go take a check on our pals there.
And he's like gonna point at each of us and point at them and motion like we're following.
Oh, and she agrees wholeheartedly, and yes, like makes the gesture that you would assume would be, yes, please go check on your friends. So, take care of your friends. I'm so sorry that this has happened. And they take them into a back room here in this hall and set them on some crates. This looks like probably a larder room, maybe like a pantry or a larder, perhaps. And they tend to cover them with skins and furs to kind of like tuck them in, like. And then
Anyone in the party have any healing, like potions or poultices or anything like that?
Well, I was about to ask, was the feast long enough for me to take a short rest?
no, it was interrupted. It probably would have been had this not happened, but depending on what you want to do, you could probably get in a short rest here in this room, waiting for Dinar and Teo to come to.
I want to spend my hit dice to recover as best I can.
Sure. A couple of times throughout the next few hours, folks come in to check and bring you things. You did hear some sort of a ruckus outside in the hall, and if you peeked, it looked as if Bone Carver was ridiculing some of the villagers. And she was very stern, looking in the face and shaking the finger, kind of.
I'll say to Owen, these people, I thought I understood them, but now I'm not so sure anymore.
So does Owen think that perhaps some of the villagers did poison the fish we were served and that Bone Carver is scolding them for it?
Yeah, you can make an insight check for me.
No, I don't know.
No, that's not necessarily the case. Definitely chewing them out. And based on what's happened, you can probably put it together that, yeah, that's probably what's going on here. Or it's either that, or they didn't put enough poison on the fish to take all of you out. One or the other, you're not quite sure.
Oh.
So either they were supposed to put enough to put you all out, or you notice there are a couple of villagers that are also now passed out in their plates. It could very well be that they were served the wrong fish also. So there's a few different things going on out there that you're not sure exactly what happened.
Okay, yeah. Kara just keeps watch over the party. I've used all my hit dice, so I'll go ahead and drink a couple potions of. Or should I?
Yeah, it was
No.
just. Do you have 0 con?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you
oh,
should get a con on your hit die. I just clicked back
Sorry.
to the chat window to see that. So yeah.
It just said hit dice D8. Oh, it's supposed to be +4. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, you get
One.
you get a bonus equal to your con on your hit dice rolls.
Okay, I'll add all that up. You guys can just ignore that.
Okay.
But that's how much I should have recovered. Sorry. Good,
Right on.
good eye there.
That
No
should
worries.
be enough to get you back to full.
or really close to it. After about sorry, I broke the stream again. My mouse has a button that will pull up every window open on all the monitors, and I occasionally bump that button with my thumb. After about 3 hours, the two of you wake groggily. You feel very sick to your stomach. Your head is pounding. And Garrow and Owen are there, and you're very groggy.
Oh, I'm glad you guys are up.
Dinar is going to attempt to say, "What's going on? What happened?"
I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell Dinar and Teo what we saw with Bone Crusher or whatever her name was outside, and my thoughts that the fish was poisoned and it didn't go the way they wanted it to. Either it wasn't supposed to be poisoned at all, or they were trying to kill us and failed.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird tasting fish. I tried to be polite, but I guess the honey covered it up for me.
Yeah, Dinar tries to shake himself back into consciousness. So what do we do?
Is there?
I guess we just continue with the plan, right?
Are we in a hut, a tent?
You're still inside the hall. You're just in like a pantry room.
Is there a back way out of this place?
Not that you can see. About that time, the door opens, actually, and Bone Carver looks back over her shoulder and slips in and shuts the door quietly.
I'll glance at Dinar, hopefully, for the.
I would have to set the spell up again. If it's been 3 hours, it's definitely off. But is she talking?
Yeah, she's speaking in a hushed tone, and this time you can all understand her.
Dinar is going to cast. Oh, you can all understand her. Okay.
You can understand her. Apparently, there's
common.
No, she's speaking her language, but perhaps she's done something similar to what Dinar did. Maybe she's cast a spell that will allow you all to understand her. And she goes
like
on.
She could be a cleric of some kind.
Perhaps. Or a shaman or a druid or
right.
Just a in fact, if Owen wanted to, now that you're very close to her in this small room, make me a what check is that? It says make a check, but it doesn't say what check. I guess it would probably be a religion check with advantage.
Religion check with advantage.
Yeah.
What did I roll?
16?
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell that this person does follow an animal totem based faith, and that you can really understand where they're coming from now with the tribalism of everything. And she tells you that the story about the sea creature, the sea monster being killed is not true. In fact, she really needs your help. Sorry about the whole poisoning thing. That wasn't supposed to happen. After you won the fight, that it was all gone away. We needed a champion to go and slay him. The Old White Death. Free us from his rule. Free us from his torment. He lives in the caves, in the ice caves.
Why did the poison happen?
It wasn't supposed to be for you. It was not supposed to be on there. It was a mistake. And
who was it supposed to be for then?
No one. It wasn't. We weren't supposed to poison anyone.
So you just keep fish poison around just in case.
Well, sometimes we have enemies that we have to poison to get rid of. Yes, but it wasn't intended for you.
Who did it? Because you seem to be arguing with someone outside.
I've taken care of that. Our cooks have been reprimanded in the ways of our traditions. But please, you have to understand, we needed to test you to make sure that you could best our best, because that's what it will take to best Old White Death.
Why put us through all these tests and things and be so secretive about it? What's this dragon or this beast thing been doing to you?
Well, he's kept us under his rule. He makes us pay him tribute, and he uses us as his soldiers to attack ships and bring him food. And honestly, we can't sustain it for much longer.
Why test us at all? We're outsiders. You could have just sent us to our death. If we had killed it, great for you. If not, what would it have mattered to you?
Sounds like they need someone to kill it for their own sake.
Well, you also asked about a missing woman, McCath, I believe you called her.
Yes.
Right.
She did pass through here not long ago and has fallen as prisoner to Old White Death. The last we saw of her, she was going down the ice tunnels. She came here similar to you, and while we turned her away, she still found her way to Old White Death, and now is known as the Horned Lady here.
Horned Lady, huh?
Sorry, y'all, I'm having a Charlie horse out of nowhere in my quad.
I wonder why they call her the Horned Lady.
She will show you. She says, if you come with me, I can show you an entrance to the caves where you can get in.
Darrow just pounds his fist and says, sounds like we know where we need to go.
Yes. Do you think you could heal me and my companion who were damaged by the poison fish?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And she will do so. Where is her character sheet? Here it is.
You beat me to it, Dinar. I was going to get all up in her face about that.
It says she has it. Why doesn't she have it? It literally says in the description that she has this ability.
Well, can you just say she uses it?
Yes, she used. Yeah, I just was gonna click it just for the sake of clicking it. But yeah, she will cast Cure Wounds on you.
All right.
You can roll it. You can each roll your own cure if you'd like, or
Well,
one.
what's her stat for it?
She's a 4th level caster.
Yeah, well, what's her
So-
stat for it? Cure Wounds incorporates your casting stat.
+4. Yes, spell casting is +4 wisdom. So
Right, well, I'm back at 73, so we take those.
So it's 1d8 plus 4?
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing I'm wondering if you have, and Dinar will talk to the person about this, is so Dinar doesn't like exactly know the names of spells, but he's going to describe a spell that gives a creature for an hour cold resistance, which may in fact be helpful for what we're about to do. Do you have such a spell? A spell that would protect somebody from energy?
Not from the cold. Our people are resistant to the cold as it is because we've lived here and adapted, so we don't have a need for that kind of ability. I apologize.
Would have been convenient, but hopefully we can manage this without it.
And she says, she actually says, if you prefer to go from here rather than be seen leaving with me, I I can get you there from here as well.
I'm fine with either. One thing I will note is your camera is incredibly blurry.
Oh, that happens.
Okay.
Because it has autofocus.
Yeah.
Arrow just looks ready to roll. He's got his, some spear wounds that are still, a little bloody looking, but all in all, he's determined looking. And
That one is the only one who's managed not to take any damage.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Haha, I fixed it. Thank you for letting me know. Because I'm not looking at the camera window, so thanks. Yeah, so she'll say, just this way then, if you're prepared.
Arrow nods. I think
yes, indeed.
We should move.
Dinar's actually is it? How close is it? Just Dinar's going to ask.
She moves over to a crate in the room and she slides a crate across the floor, revealing a trap door underneath this crate. That opens. She lifts it up and it opens into a chute of sorts with a tight spiral staircase, icy stairs.
Ooh, that's neat.
It goes down as far as you can see, and probably farther.
Well, let's go, I suppose.
Caro's gonna, just follow along.
You notice that there's a pulley tied to the ceiling, and probably there's some ropes in this room as well. It's big enough that a crate would fit down the center of the shaft if you kind of put it 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. While walking, Dinar is going to start chanting. So I'm going to start casting a ritual. So let me know when 10 minutes have passed.
I think I will swap out my ice walking shoes with my winged boots.
Okay.
Just in case I need to fly.
Okay. Fantastic.
So I'm ready.
Anybody grabbing any ropes or anything? No? Okay. You head down the stairs cautiously, I'm going to say. They descend about 100 feet in a tight spiral. It's a well-used staircase. They're steep, but easy and clear to climb once you figure out the spacing. You do come across at one point when you get to the bottom, there's a chamber is empty, except for 3 bundles. And let's go ahead and do this. Hey, you know what? Do y'all want to take a break here before we get into this dungeon crawl part?
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah.
And then we'll pick it up right here as we get to the bottom of the stairs. I think that's
perfect.
A good place to pause right here for a few moments. We'll be back in a few, folks. We're gonna go grab some snacks and water, so make sure you fill yours up. We'll be right back.
See.
All right, folks, we're back and everything is set up. Took us an extra minute there to get the maps all coordinated, but here we are and here we go. Down into the ice staircase, you descend about 100 feet in a tight spiral. You end up at the bottom in this chamber. It's empty except for 3 bundles of rolled up seal skins sitting where the ladder descends from the chute above. Basically in the center of the room. A bed of piled furs have been arranged here in what would kind of be the southwest corner. Ish. Sort of. And you can see there and hear the sound of coughing from what you see appear to be some villagers down here. Some of them are laying on the makeshift mattresses, and others are sitting around a small fire that is burning.
Now I was going to turn to the person who led them here and sort of cock his head and ask what's going on.
No one led you down here.
Oh, they just said,
showed you
no,
this.
Go ahead.
They showed you the staircase and they're like, he's down there, go get him.
Okay. It sounds fun. All right. Well, going to say that Dinar's ritual is finished now, so he's going to cast Blessing of the Sea Dragon. Hopefully, we do not need this, but if we do, I want to have it. I want to have it set up ahead of time.
All right. So there's also a passage to the north and a passage to the south.
Well, Dinar is going to pull out his shield and holy symbol, and he's going to say, shall we head north?
I'll glance at the people on the beds and say, I guess they keep some of their sick people down here.
Seemingly.
Yeah, one of them looks suspicious at you. He has a piece of fish he's kind of cooking on the fire, and he's watching you intently. And then and you can see as he coughs a little blood around his lips from where he's coughing. Yeah, definitely they appear to be sick from some kind of disease.
Maybe they were fed expired fish.
Well, I'm not going to be eating fish in a while in any case.
Yeah. What is up here?
To the north?
Yes.
All right. As you travel to the north, a slight passageway about 15 to 20 feet long. Opens into another passageway, traveling east and west. Well, south, west, and northeast.
So sorry, we can go left and right from here?
Basically, yeah. I'm trying to... actually, you can't quite see that far. Hold on.
Well,
I went too far on the... Hold on. I went too far on the revealing of the right and the left. I have to redo it.
Oh, do you want me to back out then?
No, you're fine. There you go.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There we go.
Let's go this way, I guess.
Everyone's just following Dinar. As you move down this hallway, you get to a spot where you hit a wall of fog, basically vapor that is built up here, and visibility is reduced to about 5 feet. It's very, very thick and heavy, and you know, have a difficulty of to see around here.
Dinar is going to close his eyes for a moment and see if he hears anything. Is there any movement other than the 4 sets of footsteps?
Not that you can hear, no. You also can tell it just got really cold as you got closer to this fog. It got a lot colder. And looking around, let me give you a description of these caverns and caves that you're wandering through. Most of the passages you've been through already are about 15 feet wide. Ceilings are 20 feet high, and the walls are intricately carved with draconic imagery, pillars, cornices, filigrees, buttresses, all leering dragon faces and other decorative flourishes.
Okay, so this is not just like a cave of ice.
No. Which is I'm trying to give you a little description as we go through here.
Yeah.
The
well, Dinar's going to turn back to the. Oh, go on.
Yeah, the floors are worn glass smooth from decades of traffic, almost polished, in fact. And the interior is illuminated by dim lit white oil lamps, or whale oil lamps. Sorry, not white oil. Whale oil lamps that are kept filled, it would appear, because they are currently burning. It is very cold. Most of the places are about the same temperature as outside, around 20 degrees Fahrenheit. But when you get to this fog, the temperature drops and it's close to zero.
Ugh. I don't like the look of that fog. Normally, when I see fog, I run through it really fast. Like, remember that last time? But
perhaps we should try a different way. And if this is the only way we can go, we'll head back here.
Yeah, that's fine with me. This place sure is interesting, though. All these carvings.
This certainly sounds like a dragon might live here.
All right, as you get about there, Dinar, there's a passage on your right, heading northwest. You can see.
Sorry, there's a fork in the road here and here?
Correct. I'm trying to reveal it for you. Okay. If I can get my reveal-y thing going. There we go. No, come on now. Hide, reveal. Oh my God. Jeez, there we go. Finally. Kind of leads up that way. It looks like it turns to the left.
All right, well, Dinar's gonna look down these two paths and it's like, not even two people, one of whom tells the truth and the other always lies? Well, I suppose we shall head this way.
All right. Yeah, you can kind of see the other way. It looks like a little bit of that misty fog is rolling from that direction as well. And as you move
I'm going
around,
to chime up with a quick question and ask, is anybody checking for traps?
Isn't that your job?
Yes. Like, I'll admit I'm not, and probably my checking for traps will only slow us down.
I'll check for things to punch.
And you say that, and as you kind of move into this chamber, it opens up, and you see in here, this is number 13. Of course, y'all will go the backwards way, making me scroll.
We're sorry.
Y'all are good at this. A bizarre sight greets you in this rough-walled chamber. About a dozen giant toads with thick, molted white hides are at work here, scribbling strange writing into the walls, onto weathered parchment and stone tablets. A few toads transfer parchments and tablets into and out of floor-to-ceiling cubbyholes cut into the ice along the entire southern wall. That would be the bottom wall.
I was very confused by this. These are frog scribes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they're the ones who've done all the carvings. Pretty impressive. You think they're friendly?
I'm guessing no, but do they notice us?
I'm sure, yeah, they kind of notice that you're there, but they are dutiful and continuing upon their work. No one breaks away or runs off or anything like that. And they don't seem aggressive. They seem focused on their work.
Okay. So is there a far wall on this side?
Yeah, I'm opening it up.
Okay.
Are these like, do they seem natural or are they magical? What's up here?
You can make me a nature check if you'd like. There you go. There's 11 of them in total.
Oh, you wrote your thesis on these toads.
Yeah, these are ice toads. They are a naturally occurring creature. It's a long ways. It's a well-lit chamber, though, with the oil lamps are glancing around, dancing the light off of all the ice here, reflecting it and illuminating this entire chamber.
Dinar turns to the party and is like, I suppose we leave them be? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe this isn't the best way for us to go, although maybe they wouldn't mind if we're just exploring and don't mess with their work.
Is this an opening up here?
Yes.
Does it look foggy?
It does.
More ice fog, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why don't we head back down to the passage south of the room we originally came in? So we find a
down
room
here?
that isn't foggy. I think that one was foggy too. But
Yeah, as you get
I'll
ready
have
to
a look.
leave, you see one of the ice toads kind of walk over to a group of them that are working on. It looks like they're working on something together, and starts croaking at them, for lack of a better term. This person seems to be the leader of the group, as everyone in the room is agreeing with them or accepting what they're saying and then changing their routine. So that one is the one that is speaking to the others.
Oh, guess that's their what's the word I'm looking for?
And as he turns to walk away from them, he notices you and croaks loudly, and all of them then turn and look at you.
Foreman, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that might be a good word for him.
Dinar is gonna back away. Back away some more.
And several of them start advancing towards you.
Hey, your carvings are real nice. We're not here to mess with them. We're just looking for some mage.
Let me see what languages he speaks.
I mean, I'm guessing Toad.
Toad, yes. How intelligent is he? Yeah, he probably speaks common.
I don't know if you've heard
It's a
of
frog. Okay.
I
don't know if you've heard of McCath or the Horned Lady.
You are friends?
Well, we're seeking her wisdom, I suppose.
And how much is worth to you to know where she is?
Oh, I'll glance at the rest of the party. I guess quite a bit.
Yeah. Do toads take gold? Is that even a thing that toads care about?
You don't know. Maybe.
We could pay you for information if that's what you're asking.
He kind of rubs his paws together and hops about half the distance between you and him. A good 20-foot hop.
That was a very impressive hop.
It was.
I'm Garrow. We're the United Adventure Company. We'd be glad to make some kind of deal if you could help us out.
Marflub.
Marflub. That's a very nice name.
We work here.
Yeah, we've been
All
admired.
things nice.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you work for anyone, or are you working on your own?
Oh, yes, we work for him. Arthatar. He's a great leader.
Hmm.
Do you know where he is?
Yes, way deep in caves. Down a big hole. Would you like to meet him?
Well, maybe after we
kinda.
talk to the Horned Lady.
Yeah.
If
Is
we
that
could
where
maybe-
the prisoner is as well? I would assume.
Oh, Horned Lady? No, she's different place.
Well, that's who we're looking for, but I guess we could meet your leader afterwards.
So you pay? And he hops forward again, closing the rest of the distance down to you. And as he lands, you can feel cold just radiating off of him. The others slowly move up. They don't hop, and they're not aggressive. They're just keeping close.
Oh,
We didn't bring any flies.
yeah, I've got some gold here. I'll take out my gold satchel and reach in and pull out, how about 50 gold?
That's so much gold. We have too much gold.
Oh, so you don't want gold. I think I ate most of the honey. I glance at Teo.
We need something.
What are you interested in?
Hang on, I'm trying to find that in the... information, knowledge, power.
Oh. Garrow seems confused. Knowledge. What kind of knowledge do I have?
What is the world like outside of the ice? Tell me.
Oh,
Tell me of
yeah.
the world beyond the ice. You are not from the Iceland.
Oh,
I
yeah,
suppose
that's right.
That's something you could discern, yes.
I come from a faraway place called the sewer.
Oh. Tell me about the sewer.
It's actually like this in some ways, but instead of ice, it's, stone, and it's a lot warmer. And we do draw on the walls, but they're not quite as nice as yours, I gotta say.
Daenerys, by the way, is going to slowly back off at this point, and he's actually going to leave. He's going to head back into this area of the thing.
Okay.
He does not specifically want to negotiate with what he presumes are followers of a dragon.
They're medium-sized creature, about human-sized.
Okay.
And as Garrow is rambling about the sewer, he notices Daenerys leaving. He's like, oh, I'll glance at Teo. It's like, you got any more stories you think they'd be interested in about the outside world?
Well, there was this one time. We were back in a tavern. And I proceed to tell a tale of, drinking and merriment in a tavern.
That dwarven wedding we went to that once?
That dwarven, exactly, with the dwarven wedding, spending some time to give the details of
What is a dwarf? What dwarven? What is dwarven? What is dwarven?
Oh, you'd like them.
Very inquisitive,
Yeah.
and basically every time you say something that's obviously foreign, Marflub is going to stop and ask you for more details.
So when he says, what is a dwarf? I'm going to use Mask of Many Faces to disguise myself as a dwarf.
Oh, that's very clever. Give yourself inspiration for that. That is very clever. I will give you an inspiration for that.
You nailed it, Owen. That's a dwarf if I've ever seen.
Oh, so ugly.
Oh, well, I guess it all depends on what you like. But they're real good at building, and they're well known for making tunnels, kind of like this, but usually in mountains.
Oh, mountains. We know mountains.
Yeah. Dwarves and mountains, man. They're great pair.
Dwarves and mountains. For this, he turns and looks at the scribes, who have all been dutifully scribbling in ice tablets, parchment, seal skins, whatever they have, writing down your story. And several of them, if you're done, once you're done telling them the different stories, they will run and place them into these cubby holes in the ice walls. And Marflub says, thank you. Thank you for stories. That's very smart. Very good.
Oh, you're welcome.
The Horned Lady is not far from here. let's see, you go past the Hall of Giants into Trophy Room, and then yes, Trophy Room, and then it's the Empty Room, and then Horn Lady Room. Yes.
Oh,
So,
okay.
He points down the hallway this direction that you were starting to go before, and he'll say, second hallway, empty room, Horn Lady.
Second hallway, empty room, Horn Lady. Got it.
I'm gonna also ask him this cold, icy fog that's blocking our way. How do we get past that?
Oh, you just walk. It's you can walk through. It won't hurt you. It's just cold.
That's good to know.
Is there anything we should be wary of while down here besides the fog?
You mean monsters?
No, just
If you're friends of of Horned Lady, you no worries.
that's good to know. We are friends. We're friendly types. Well, it was good meeting you all. I guess we'll go find the Horn Lady now.
Thank you for your stories. Tell Ice Troll I said hello.
Oh, okay, I will. Garrow walks off looking a little concerned about this ice troll.
And Marflub will hop away slowly this time. And as he does, the cold recedes from around him. And you've negotiated well with Marflub and learned the location of McCath.
Excellent.
Good job.
Garrow will return to where Dinar is and be like, I guess we know where to go now. You seemed a little bit weirded out by them, Dinar?
It's not in my nature to negotiate with people who I know serve a dragon.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
But don't you serve a dragon?
Dinar just laughs and is like, you know what I mean.
Dinar, while you were in the other chamber there, the sickly, you could tell they're not gonna live long, and you being a cleric person, I don't know if you have the ability to do anything, but if you wanted to do anything to help them, you could.
Can I roll medicine?
Yes, you can roll medicine. Sure.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Call that reasonable.
On a 90, yeah, they have some sort of curable illness. From your knowledge, it could be it's the blood coughing disease, and you know that you could cure this with a lesser restoration.
Yeah, guess what spell I switched off to get tongues? So, long story short, I can come back tomorrow and do it, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah, you know
so that is probably
you
what
could
Dinar
probably
will
heal
do.
these people and go from there if you wanted to.
Yeah. So, Dinar is probably going to I would have to come back tomorrow, and that is probably what he will do.
Okay,
Assuming we survive this mysterious cave.
cool.
Garrow will observe Dinar's behavior and say, you feel bad for the sick folks, huh? I get it.
Yes.
So moving through the ice fog, slowly, cautiously, predictably, maybe.
Is this the way where we're supposed to go?
Yeah.
Is this the way we were?
Yeah. Garrow will sort of stride into the fog first to test it out.
That's the direction that the informant there told us.
Correct.
And Teo's going to do his best to not be seen, well, just keeping an eye open for any kind of trap or anything like that he may stumble across, just in case.
Sure. And okay, cool. Eventually, you find your way through this fog, kind of running your hand along the wall at times when it gets really thick.
So I'm assuming this fog is difficult terrain.
I wouldn't call it difficult terrain, but it is difficult to low to no visibility. Teo, if you want to make investigate rolls as you move through here 20 feet at a time for traps, that's fine. A passage on the right does become evident when you're running your hand along the wall. You feel it turn and you explore a little bit. It goes in, maybe you could tell it's definitely a passage as you explore maybe 10 feet and then it comes back out. So you Ross, yep, that's a passage going that way. That must be the first one he talked about. Yeah. Teo is not finding anything as of yet. Kind of poking, prodding, leading the charge here. And you get to a patch of very dense fog. Again, the visibility drops to 5 feet and it gets wispy and cold, very cold. Thank goodness you have all these furs and everything. If you didn't have this proper gear, you would not be able to survive here for long, for sure. The fog parts a little bit. It gets a little clearer. The temperatures raise, and you're able to see a little farther now as this mist dissipates.
Oh.
Seeing nothing unusual on your path ahead.
We're looking for an empty room.
As you, let me zoom out on the map a little bit for the folks at home. Sorry there. Here we go. I think you all should be able to see that now. As you move around, feeling the walls again, you feel another opening, this time on the right side of the tunnel again. Again, exploring 10 or 15 feet in. Oh, for crying out loud. Click the connection point. There it is. Like 1,000 clicks before I found it. Another passageway reveals itself.
Is this the empty room, do you think?
Kind of hard to say, but it does lead on and continue in. Small fog floating through, but not as dense as the others.
Wasn't it down 2 hallways and
You think, yeah, you remember the directions were down 2 hallways, empty room, horned lady. So you don't know if he meant turn into the second hallway, the second room, whatever.
Well, we should check it out at least.
All right.
See if this is the empty room, and if not, we'll move on.
Yes, you move in, and it does open into a very empty cavern. It's well lit and empty cavern here.
Well, I think we could safely call this empty.
Seems like it.
There's a passage on the northeast corner.
Oh, I wonder if that's the way. That must be towards the Horned Lady.
Up that way.
Where's the passage here?
Yep.
Well, let's go.
That's 9. Let's see. Yes. All right. All of these, remember, are covered with ice. Everything is made of ice here. So. As you move up this area, the ground slopes up almost as if this is a ramp. You're increasing in altitude. As you go up, not a lot, but maybe 10 or 15 feet. And you get to the top up here. And wait, am I looking at the right description? Okay. Yes. You get to the top up here, and the cavern turns to the right a little bit. It's still well lit. It turns to the right a little bit into a dead end. Continuing on forward, it turns also and widens its opening to the left. And an empty ice floor in this chamber holds a most unexpected sight. A large shelter is seemingly built out of scraps and in the style of tents used by desert nomads of Kalasham, some 2,000 miles to the south. Additionally, now let me get everything revealed open so you can see, even though I love cavern reveals because, it's all the clicking. There we go. Slide the map over. Slide the map down. There we go. And select GM layer, token layer. All right. Now that I have everything correct for you all, I will finish the description. The interior, yeah. So basically, everything about this, from about here on, is a shelter. It's just kind of built in and around. It's how big is it? Does it say 8 feet tall, 20 feet wide, and 30 feet long? So
sorry, do we see these three individuals?
No, they're inside this. They're inside the shelter. You don't actually see them just yet. So
Dinara's going to turn to the party and say, "This looks somewhat promising."
Yeah. Wow. Look at all this stuff.
So imagine that's about the footprint of the shelter.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I'm probably still on the wrong layer then. Select.
Okay.
There you go. I drew it on the. That's probably the footprint, and they would be back here.
Okay.
Kind of here and here.
Is there like a door or visible entrance?
No, it's layers and layers of seal skins and furs and animal hides. Just as you approach, you think if you were just to probably separate a couple of them, you could just walk in.
Gary will just boom out, "Hello? Orange lady? The cat?"
You don't hear anything, but as you get closer, you can feel a little warmth radiating from the structure.
Well,
No, it's like contemplates knocking, but worries that might knock the structure down.
yeah. I think maybe if we just peek in and politely look around, it'll be fine.
Dinar has his doubts, but this does seem to be something very out of place in an ice cavern.
Absolutely out of place. This is not a style of building that you would see here. The tapestries and hides and furs and skins and all, they layer all the way down to the floor, creating no gap for cold air to come in. In fact, you think there might even be some laid down on the ice to create a floor. Looking at how they lap over each other.
In for a penny, in for a pound, Teo will start to burrow his way into the structure by moving the flaps and kind of sneaking in, trying to be as quiet and as stealthy as he can to make his way in.
Yeah. You as soon as you pull the flap back to kind of slide in, you are hit with the most refreshing feeling of warmth, hospitality. It feels like a warm summer day is radiating from inside of this tent structure, and in just welcoming and almost beckoning you to come inside out of the cold.
Yes. Conversely, they must not be happy that we've opened the door.
I'll be following.
And I look back and just give the old,
Right.
hand wave.
At this point, I guess Dinar is going to follow you in.
Yeah, sure. And when you all walk in, you step in slowly. The interior of the shelter is surprisingly warm, and it smells really interesting, as there's a small stove and simple lamps that are burning aromatic whale oil. Carpets are heaped on the floor in thick layers, and tapestries from every culture in Faerun hang suspended from sturdy frame of whale ribs that make up the interior structure of this
We
building.
found a fellow tapestry enthusiast.
Yes.
I was gonna say more tapestries. That's awesome.
Books and scrolls are stacked neatly on tables and reading stands made of hide and whalebone. The only other furnishings in the shelter not made from these natural materials are the carpets and tapestries. A portable writing desk that appears to have been taken maybe from a sailing ship or such is also in here. And seated at that writing desk is a female tiefling wearing a blazing crimson cloak over tailored furs. The cloak is fastened with some sort of a brooch, silver and ivory. From this distance, you can't really tell what it is. The two kobold attendants stand nearby, glancing nervously between you and the tiefling. Like, oh shit, what are we going to do? And after a few of these brief, tense exchanges, the tiefling looks up with an expression of pale disinterest from her readings. Have you come to save me or kill me? Not that there will be much difference between the two, honestly.
Oh,
I mean,
Probably
we were going for
save.
the former.
yeah, we had some questions we wanted to ask you. So if we can help you out,
Sure. If I can help you and you can help me, then perhaps there's a way for us to survive this after all.
Yes.
Maybe we won't all end up like ice cubes buried in this bottom of this iceberg.
Garrow
That
will
would
get
be
a little
ideal.
bit more comfortable now and give a wink to one of the kobolds and just kind of maybe sit on one of the carpets.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall you begin, or would you like us to?
I'll begin. Here are the terms for my rescue. And as she kind of gets up and walks over towards you, Owen and Dinar, make me a... Actually, everybody can do it, because y'all would have been told about this. So everybody can make a intelligence check for me real quick, as the light reflects off of this silver brooch that's closing her cloak. You see it is a stylized branching tree. Teo and Dinar, you recognize this. Perhaps you were paying more attention than the other two in the briefing, that this is the symbol of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Mhm.
This is definitely the person that you're looking for.
Okay.
The terms for my rescue. Notice how she's negotiating her own rescue here. I'm not going to leave without bringing along as much of this knowledge as possible. I've been here far too long to walk away empty-handed. You see, while I am a prisoner, I am almost one as my own volunteer. I'm here to study and learn as much as I can. I'm sure that should I try and escape, Authoritor will kill me. So I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can before that happens. So if you can help me gather as much information here as possible, then yes, I will accept your help.
You mean information like the scrolls that the ice toads are scribbling all the time?
No, more like information about the dragon. There's some items in the lair that we probably need to recover as well. There's some traps around. You'll have to be careful in navigating those. Oh, and we should probably kill the dragon as well while we're here. The Drakhorn was here.
Yeah.
It may still be here if we can find it, and that would be a wonderful
Yes,
relic to take home.
That is what we were searching for. We were told that you have greater knowledge as to what that is and where it is. So presumably it could still be here.
Yes, it could be. So the Drakhorn, if you're not familiar with it, is a sounding horn that will alert all the dragons of the return of Tiamat and actually call them to battle and bring them to the portal so that she can lead her armies once again. It was here. As far as I know, it may still be here, although there's a little wrinkle that it might be gone already. Some humans came. They were wearing robes maybe a year and a half ago. It's really hard to tell time now.
Well, I can say that it probably wasn't them because we heard the actually, never mind. Like, presumably you too heard the Drakhorn sound.
Yeah, it was pretty loud. Yeah, like I said, time is hard to tell. I don't know how long I've really been here. Do you know how long I've been missing? I haven't seen the sun in years.
Dinar would, so yeah. How long?
Quite a while.
I believe the last sighting was 3 years ago.
Yeah. So, according to my contacts on the surface, you were last seen 3 years ago.
Wow. I have been here a while. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I haven't seen the sun in 3 years then. I've been down here trapped by Authority. And well, many have come actually and tried to rescue me, but he has slain everyone.
Is it possible that he was the one who sounded the Drakhorn?
It is quite possible that he sounded it. It is possible. It was here.
Okay. So we go punch the dragon, take his horn and his other stuff, and you leave with us. Sounds great to me.
She laughs. Punch the dragon. You're funny. You're funny. You think it's going to be that easy? He has devoured every hero that has come to face him, eaten them whole, and spat out their bones. What he didn't digest came out the other end. So I would approach.
Is it possible we could just escape?
Oh no, he would know. He has servants all throughout the caves. In fact, even the people that live up top, he threatens their death should they try to escape. So, he, not to mention, where are we going to go? We're on a floating island.
Yeah, we heard that these, causing a lot of problems for those in the village. So they really wanted us to stop him.
Yes, and when he sees a ship in the water that he wishes to take, he just takes it. So if my disappearance were to become known before he were slain or driven from this lair, then he would surely chase us down and eat us. Not a fate that I really prefer. I don't know about you. I don't want to be someone's dinner, though. That's why I've complied.
Okay, so punching him might be hard. What about driving him from his lair? What do you mean by that? Could we maybe steal it?
Perhaps you could mysteriously disappear, draw him from his lair, and then we could recover the Drakhorn.
It is if it's still here. See, those humans came. They may have taken it. I saw him in negotiations with them. I'm not sure if they took it or not.
Cultists, you think?
Yeah, they were wearing these very distinct looking robes. They all had this, like, masks.
Yeah, that sounds like our cult, all right.
Oh, you're part of the cult? Well, that's great. He might be willing to help you then.
No.
We're sort of the opposite. We're cult hunters.
Oh, cult hunters. Right. Gotcha.
So we intend to prevent Tiamat from opening the portal and bringing the dragons into this realm, and thus our hunt has led us here.
I see. And why would you want to do that? I mean, think of the knowledge you could gain from her being here.
As if you were alive to, if you were alive to make use of it, which you would not be.
True. That's a good point. Well, at least I've gained the knowledge I have. If I'm going to die and be some dragon's final meal, then at least I've learned some things along the way. I tell you what, these things might help you. And she pulls out a ring and a quiver that has 2 arrows in it. These are items that I have recovered from previous heroes that have come here to slay the dragon. This is a ring of cold resistance. It will help you not be affected by his breath weapon, at least whoever wears it. And these are the last 2 arrows. I've identified them as arrows of dragon slaying. They have the ability to do additional damage to dragons on a very particular point of contact. So yeah, there's only 2, so you would have to make sure that your aim was true with these.
Hey,
2.
do you think you could use these?
Yes.
Well, I
What
think
can you- Oh, go on.
I think Owen still has a rather fancy bow that these might be useful with.
But Dinar's going to ask, what can you tell me about the dragon's tactics? Does he just show up, breathe on them, and claw them to death? Or like, does he have a specific plan of attack that he uses over and over again?
It varies, but for the most part, it's quick and brutal. He is not afraid to use his breath weapon, and his claws are quite vicious, his tail quite strong. His wings will batter people against the ice, knocking them unconscious.
Is he even capable of fitting into these caverns? Perhaps there are more open areas here, but the tunnels we went through seemed too narrow for a dragon.
Oh, here they are, but there's actually another level below this. I can show you a path directly into his lair if you think that surprise would give you an advantage.
I mean, we're willing to take any advantage we could possibly get would be helpful.
He comes this way often to visit with me. The next chamber over, actually.
So he talks to you?
Oh yes, we've had great conversations. He's not a cruel captor. He just doesn't want me to leave.
I'm confused as to why he doesn't just eat you.
Apparently, I have.
What do you offer him?
It sounds like they both like knowledge and like talking about smart stuff.
That's one part of it, but I think that I may hold some knowledge that he needs, or perhaps this cult, or maybe even Tiamat would like to have of her own. So he keeps me alive, and I don't challenge him because I don't want to die.
Yes. Why are these kobolds here?
They are his guards for me. And she kind of looks like as if, right?
Yeah.
He trusts me not to do anything foolish, because where am I going to go? There's ice trolls, there's frost giants here, there are kobolds, there's toads.
Wouldn't the frost giants attack him?
No. They are his servants. Everyone who lives in these caves serves a Thurtar. So, yeah, you have to understand it. He wields great influence over all manners of creatures.
Well, it sounds like these special arrows could do a whole lot of damage. You said they had to be aimed at a certain spot.
Well,
is that correct?
Sort of. If you make a solid hit with them, then he has to, in effect, the description of the arrow of dragon slaying is a When the arrow of slaying takes damage, when a creature takes damage from the arrow of slaying, the creature must make a Constitution saving throw, taking an extra 6d10 piercing damage on a failed save or half on a successful one. So
Pretty good.
it does extra damage on a solid hit. That's what she's telling you. If think about it, if it's a critical, then it's also doubled, right? So it would be 12d10 piercing damage.
Maybe you could modify it to shoot out of your crossbow, Teo.
Or share them, she says. If you each have a weapon that could shoot them, maybe 2 people shooting them simultaneously?
Teo, do you have a bow?
I only have a crossbow.
I have a bow.
Maybe you should give Teo the bow. No offense, Owen.
Yes, perhaps I'll take the ring, and I can support you and raise you if you get killed by a breath weapon. Since I can raise you and not the other way around.
I look around to the rest of the party and go, you are coming along, right?
Can Teo use a longbow?
Probably, right?
Because longbow's martial, right?
Yeah.
I can use
And
it because
heavy.
of. I can use it because of I've got racial proficiency.
Yeah. Dinar's going to try to go and say, that thing you did before where you attempted to like stun the warrior with your fist.
Yeah.
What exactly was that? Can you explain to me what just happened?
I
but
what sort of channel my ki into the blow and aim at one of their Master Leeson calls them pressure points.
Does that work on dragons?
I would imagine so. Once I get into the battle, I can probably sense where the pressure points are.
I think it would be worth an attempt, if only that we could guarantee the slaying arrows land.
Yeah, I'm glad to try it out.
I like that y'all are putting together a strategy here. This is clever. I like this. And Macass says, well, how else will you know how to get there? Of course I'm coming. Not to mention, if we escape, I'm the only one that knows what treasures we need to take with us. So yes, I'm coming. This I have to see.
Are you going to fight with us?
Oh, I'm not a fighter.
Okay,
no, I'm a thinker. I'm not a fighter.
Just checking.
I will protect
we should
the
be able
things.
to handle it.
Yes.
Can anyone refresh my memory? It's been a while since I've fought a dragon. Are they susceptible to non-magical weapons?
I know this. Would Dinar know this?
Yes, Dinar would know this.
All right. Yes, they are. Like a dragon's hide is certainly hard, but you do not need magical weapons to penetrate its hide. Gosh, how do I describe this in not metagamey terms? A dragon's tenacity is very strong. They're very resilient, and they can, by sheer force of will, shrug off an effect that would otherwise incapacitate them. But there's a limit to the number of times they can do it. So what I'm wondering is, presumably, if it still has access to its fortitude, it will use this to just shrug off the arrow hits. But Garrow could attempt to stun it 4 times, and at least one of those is probably going to go through. Dragons are very hardy, but if you could 4 times, if you could attempt to do it 4 times, you're likely to hit at least a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I could probably get in at least 1 hit that'll stun him.
Yeah, I could probably, I have various effects as well that could attempt to incapacitate it, but it can just deny me, but there's only so many times it can do that.
I see. So we got to wear it down a little bit maybe before we use the arrows.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The other possibility is, I feel like our best chance of actually hitting it is to, if the if the sage thinks that they could find a way to get us in without it noticing, and we could surprise it, that would almost certainly be our best chance to hit it with 2 arrows. So what I'm thinking is we surprise it. You punch it 4 times, attempt 4 stuns, and I will use some sort of magic to attempt to damage it as well, and then we shoot 2 arrows.
And for what it's worth, I'm feeling really lucky.
I like the plan. I'm not so sure how we're going to surprise him, though. I know I can step into the shadows near him pretty easily, and that'll give me an advantage to my first strike. But
Dinar's going to turn to the sage, the person in the Arcane Brotherhood, and say, like, you claim that you could get us into his lair without him noticing, and we could surprise him. How do you intend to do that?
In the next chamber over is a tunnel that leads directly to his lair, from which he and I sometimes visit in the next chamber over. He comes and goes. I never go that way, and typically none of his servants go that way either. There are other ways into his chamber that most people would use. And they don't come unannounced.
So. I think that would actually be our best bet, because we don't want to fight a bunch of trolls. We don't want to alert him. Like, we don't want to make a whole bunch of noise and alert him, because I think our best chance of possibly slaying him is to strike out of nowhere.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
All right, somebody, I don't care which one of y'all, roll me a D. Let me see something.
Owen said he's feeling lucky. Maybe it should be him.
Roll me a D4.
All right, yeah,
Just roll me a D4.
D4?
Yep. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you're feeling lucky.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
They were probably all, I don't know. I'm just going to assume they were all somewhat bad.
Varying degrees. Actually, it's just the location of the dragon in the chamber. What wall he's on. I numbered them. That's all. It's just where is he? Hey, I'll let y'all decide, right? All right, Macath grabs a few things. And having seen that you're shocked when she's like, oh, I'm not fighting. She begins to laugh, says, don't worry. If things start going south, I'll help. I'm not a fighter, but I dabble, I'll say. Yes. And you know that she is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, therefore
she could probably sling a fireball.
Could probably sling a firebolt, if nothing else. She leads you onward out of her tent.
Do I have to attune to the ring, or do I just wear it?
I believe you can just wear it. I don't believe it requires attunement.
All right, I will just wear it.
I don't think they would give you a ring that you would have to.
All right. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to remember my amulet of the devout. I think I can use that to recover a spell slot. And I'm going to go look that up, because if that's true, I'm going to do it now.
Yep. Who's taking the arrows?
Okay, I can use it to recover my channel divinity. So I will use my channel divinity for harness divine power. I will recover a spell slot, and then I will use amulet of devout to get back my channel divinity.
Do we decide if Teo could use a longbow, or has a bow that Teo can use?
I am proficient with simple weapons.
Probably needs a short bow.
I need a short bow. Yeah, not
I've got.
Does Macath have a bow lying around?
No,
I have a long bow. I don't have a short bow.
Okay.
Are you proficient with a longbow?
I am proficient with a longbow, racial proficiency.
All right, cool.
So you might be the one taking the shots.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I just shared the handout with you for the Arrow of Dragon Slaying, so you have the stats for it. Should be available to you now.
I'm pretty sure it'd be a pretty big disadvantage to fire a regular arrow out of a light crossbow.
Yeah, I don't think that works.
I don't think so.
Can you see the handout?
No.
Look.
No, I just shared it with.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. McCath walks out of the tent, leading you towards this opening. To the next section.
Should we take care of the kobolds first?
If you want to.
You think they'll try and do anything?
Well, that's the question. Will they sound an alarm?
I go on walks. They don't ever say anything.
I mean, we did just go on a fairly long speech about how we're going to kill the dragon.
They look like they speak common.
You would know kobolds are not very intelligent. They do not typically speak common.
So we just
speak
came and had a
Draconic.
chat, a regular chat with the cat. This was all they know.
Yeah, in which she handed us 2 arrows and a ring that we know she looted off of previous adventures.
I doubt they'll put that together with anything.
All right. Very well.
Kobolds don't have a great intelligence. You would know that.
Okay.
They do speak common, but these do not because they have been bred. I'll tell you about it later. There's a whole story behind the kobolds that are here. So that's why I said typically a kobold would speak common. These do not.
Okay.
It's up to you. If you wanted to off them while you're here, you can.
No.
One shot, one kill. I mean, they have very.
We're going to do the thing. So
do the thing.
All right.
I'm going to use a potion of healing because I am not quite up to full health. I've used all my short rest points, but this should do it.
Heal myself a little as well.
Awesome.
I'm seriously the only person who hasn't taken any damage this whole session.
That's fantastic. As you head up this chamber, McCath begins telling you about something that you're going to see. And she tells you, when we enter this next chamber, be cautious. Do not get inquisitive. You're going to see things that will intrigue you. You will want to touch them, to hold them, to read them, to seek their knowledge. I would warn against it.
Okay. Arrow doesn't seem like he cares about any of that stuff, but who knows?
Where's the connection point? Where's the damn connection point? It's in there somewhere.
And that potion of healing put me perfectly back up to full health. It's nice how that works out sometimes.
I got to start again with the reveal because I couldn't find the connection point.
Yeah. I appreciate your dedication to polygons. I am always just a reveal square DM. It's just
I wish I could on this one, but the shape, as you've seen, the shape of some of these caverns,
it's very much not square.
Not square at all. So I'm having to zoom into like 250%, slide around and find the connection point, which is there we go. Poof. All right. Poof. I have revealed the next chamber. As you walk into this chamber, chamber number 11, 3 shelves stand in this otherwise empty cavern, cobbled together out of salvaged wood, whalebone, pieces of giant's armor, and even frozen limbs of yetis. A number of scrolls, books, parchments, and folios are carefully arranged on the shelves, all bearing the markings of magical writing. And she tells you these are the items stolen from the host tower of the Arcane. I have carefully recovered these from the treasure hoards scattered throughout this land, beneath this ice. These are the most precious things that we must escape with. If all else fails, we have to return here, gather these things, and flee.
All right. Well.
All right.
Seems
you sure like your books, but that's
I see. But let's. I think we need to see the dragon first. None of this will matter if we don't. If we do not kill the dragon.
She leads you to the northwestern end of this chamber, where a 15-foot wide chute leads down in elevation. You can see that there are claw marks in this, very large claw marks. In fact, you could probably lay down in one of them, and where the traction is just from the dragon coming up and down, up and down.
Since it's probably going to be necessary, I'm going to go ahead and charge my dagger of venom.
Okay.
Garrow's flexing the little claws on his scorpion tattoo, ready to activate it for the
I'm going to set up a couple of spells here. So the first one I'm going to set up is Aid. Maybe I should upcast this. I think. 3. Yeah, I'm going to upcast this to level 3. So Aid is +5, but it upcasts to +10. So both, it's only 3. So I'm going to do the other, you 3. Your current and maximum hit points increase by 10.
Nice.
Cool.
And as you all are preparing,
and this lasts for 8 hours.
You're getting all this done. McCath, she stops you and says, it's 60 feet down, a 15-foot drop. Once you're in, there's no easy way out. It's you or him. Are you sure you want to go through with this?
What choice do we have? We're down here too.
Garrow nods and says, yes, I'm sure.
Leroy Jenkins.
Don't say that. You know what happened to Leroy Jenkins.
I think I heard that story in the sewer.
Yes, it's a very famous story. But what you're saying is, like, if I have a spell that I want to cast that lasts a minute, I cast it now, and then we slide down?
If you want it to be in effect before you get to the bottom, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to cast Bless as well. I'm actually going to cast it at level 2, so that I can affect all 4 of us, because I want the 7th row bonus.
All right, with that, let's roll.
Literally, let's roll, right? Because we're going to be rolling.
Slide, and Garrett's going to do.
We're going to be rolling initiative.
Probably going to be rolling initiative very, very soon. Yes. I got to get all.
Dinar's not going to roll down this slope.
Let me see where exactly on this map you come in. I really think it's just my choice. There's no obvious location on the map, so.
I'm going to point out to the party. I can ensure that we take no damage on the fall.
I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a sloping ramp, and then at the end of the ramp, it's a 15-foot drop. So you kind of can walk down it cautiously, and then when you get to the bottom, you can hop down, or you could slide in, swords ablaze, and however you want to, dramatic hero style or stealth style.
We got the spell active. I think we're sliding in.
Yeah. Or actually, speaking of spells, I've got one more thing I'm going to activate, which is Platinum Scales. And I'm going to roll this for all of us now. So I'm just going to roll this once, if you don't mind.
That's fine. Yeah.
Usually the easier way.
Oh, got the perfect roll. 14 temporary hit points for the party.
Lovely.
Wow.
So you all just up 24 hit points.
I am hoping that we
effects,
can take a dragon's breath.
Those 2 effects combined get me to almost 100.
Garrow is, as we enter, not going to fall all the way, but float as he activates his.
Cool. Place yourself somewhere close to this end of the.
Where?
See my purple pinger thingy?
Yeah, I see.
My pinger thing?
I don't know.
The northern.
Down south, basically.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to zoom out a bunch.
Yeah. You'll have to zoom out because it's another map I scrolled down to. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
there's
this,
where I'm at.
Yeah, right there's where you're at. You drop down. That's the edge of the ramp, we'll say. And then it's a 15-foot drop to here. So. And let me pull up his character sheet and keep it open over here.
Oh, it's about to happen.
Yep, it's about to happen, y'all.
We've done the dungeon. Now.
You got 55 minutes to beat the dragon.
Yes. We finished the
pressure.
dungeon. Now it's time for the dragon. Initiative.
How far? Let's do that. Y'all are gonna slide down, land. You slide down and look maybe to make sure you're not
Yeah.
going to drop in right in front of him. You don't see him anywhere. As far as you can see, you don't see him. It looks like this is supported by columns of ice and stone mixed together. This is a raised area that kind of drops off again another maybe 10 feet down. You can see these two areas are different elevations.
Okay. Well, I guess we hop down, see if we can find ourselves a dragon.
Well, yeah, let's do that. What's the light conditions in this room?
The light conditions in the lair, you can see pretty well actually.
Or whale oil lamps?
You're in 19. So, yeah, you actually can see pretty well in this area. That's, I think, about 200 feet that you can see right there that I've revealed. But it's well lit in that much space, and you can kind of see across to this other, almost looks like an island area as the lights reflecting around all this ice. With more and more pillars of ice opening up. And as you walk around the ledge that you're on, you see these other ledges have piles and piles of treasure around. Let me bring Macath down here. Also.
All right, I have even more things to set up. I'm going to give myself advantage on this initiative roll because I think it will be an important roll. And I would like to go before a dragon, just in case.
Right on.
You know, in case I need to.
Yeah, so all around this area, you can see there are piles of treasure scattered about. Like, he doesn't keep his hoard all in one place. Probably safer that way, you know, on high elevations. This is also an area that looks like he may nest here. This corner, this higher, come here, pointer thing. This higher area right here appears to have like nesting materials and hides and whatnot, and it looks well used. Like, you might be standing in his bedroom.
But we don't see him anywhere.
You do not see him anywhere.
Make a perception check to see if we see anything. Like hear a snore maybe. That would be good.
Go for it.
16.
You don't hear a snore, but you and Owen can hear large footsteps scraping. Oh, let me roll for Macath as well. Come on, Perception, where are you? Oh, I hate this. It's not on there. That's okay. I'll just make a risk. Oh, yeah. Yep. Macath also hears it. She says, she crouches down low. She looks back at you. Shh, he's close. And she points.
Are there any
this way? And you two can hear the footsteps as well, kind of echoing down from that direction.
Are there any shadows nearby?
Just the shadows of the pillars and columns.
If possible, I would like to get into a shadowed location. Like, would
I'm
here
going
be
to point
suitable?
in the direction of the sound.
So Garrow's kind of crouching behind this ice pillar.
Yep.
So is this an ice pillar?
Yeah, that's like a wall of pillar.
Then I will
yeah.
also hide behind the pillar.
Yes. As you're moving through, Macath is kind of moving with you, hiding around. Teo moves up to there. McCath will move up with you.
Okay, so we're heading over here, I guess.
Yes, and you guys, now that you've all been pointed out to the footsteps, you can hear them, and they're starting to get louder. Actually, sounds like they're coming your direction.
All right.
How would you like to? Do you want to stay on the shelf?
On the shelf?
Like where you are? You're on a raised area.
Actually, yeah, that sounds reasonably good. I want cover from the breath weapon, and I want to be able to poke out and cast a spell and then hide behind a thing that will give me cover from the breath weapon.
Makes sense.
Yeah, as soon as I see him, I'd like to, teleport into his own shadow and start punching him.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and set up initiative then. Because y'all have a well-defined plan, and I will give you all surprise. So your first round, I'll give you surprise.
It did not. I put advantage. It did not roll with advantage. Well, the 12 would have been my roll anyway. So
I gotta. Okay, there you go. I see what you did. All right.
$15.2.
Yep.
So y'all will go first, and
there's
then
an option for use Dex tiebreaker for initiative, and
yeah.
I'm not sure why your Dex is +2 though. It should not be +2. Oh, I guess it's 20.
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll let you all go first for the surprise, then I will sort the initiative order. Okay.
Well, are there any dragons around here?
Actually, yes. You see him stride out of the shadows on this other area.
Oh, he looks so cool.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
He looks so cool. I see what you did there.
Of course.
Cheers, my friend.
Get a drink from your invisible cup.
Yes, my invisible cup. Wow, you can't. It even hides my face. It's the cup of invisibility. All right. So go ahead in your initiative order. Garo, how far does your shadow step ability work?
60 feet. So I'd have to move a little closer to activate it, but I might be able to sneak around in the shadow of this iceberg and get close enough. So let's see.
How far away for even? I think we should wait one more round for him to get closer if he's heading this way.
He is headed that direction. And you see he stops and he stretches, flaps his wings out a little bit, shakes some ice off of them, and then he leaps across this chasm, landing right there. I think that's
all right.
Let me make
and
sure
now
that
it's time.
Let me make sure that distance is right, because I don't want to measure tool. There you are. Perfect.
All right. That'll do.
He lands. Oh, you can tell he's looking tired. He must be headed to bed.
This is the ninja moment that Garo has been trained for. Like, finally, a surprise attack. He will just creep a little bit forward in the shadow till he can get within 60 feet, and then poof, right in this dragon. Like, I'm going to aim to be like a little bit there. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, kind of under his what would be his left wing.
Not quite pointing myself towards the party, just in case. And I will unleash a flurry of blows, and my first attack's with advantage as I activate my my tattoo.
Oh, we need some dragon music. Hang on. We need some dragon fight music. Go ahead and do your thing, but I gotta find some dragon fight music.
So my tattoo is glowing. My shadow step gives me advantage on my first attack.
You also have bless.
Also have bless. I will not forget about that. So
honestly, it might have been better for you to just run up and then you can use flurry of blows, but this is fine too.
Yeah, this will be just as fine. I'm gonna hit him with 1. That one's supposed to be at advantage, so 21.
Ooh, that was close.
And then 1, 2. Or, no, wait.
Okay, so the 21, the 29, and 15. Right? 3 hits?
21, 29, and wait. I think because it was a bonus action for my first one, it's only 2 attacks, but I'm going to do Stunning Strike on both.
So just the 21 and 29?
Yeah.
Okay, those both land, solid lands. Pow, pow! And you're doing Stunning Strike as well?
Yes. So I spend 2 key points, 1 for each one, and they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw versus an 19. Is that right? Did we decide? It doesn't list it clearly on my character sheet what my key saving throw is.
For monks, it's 8 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
My wisdom modifier. So
yes.
16 probably for you, wouldn't it?
16, yes.
Yeah.
1 save, 1 fail.
Oh, he failed the save. Let's go.
All right. Well, that's something. I guess that's all for Garrow, though.
All right,
Getting it
so
started.
that is...
So he's stunned?
And that stuns him, is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
So that's a total of 17 and 15 is 32 damage, and he is currently stunned.
It says stunned until the end of my next turn, which sounds
nice.
excellent.
So stunned means he is at what, disadvantage?
I believe it. Do you want me to read it out
Stunned
to you?
creature is incapacitated, cannot move, speak, can speak only falteringly, automatically fails strength and dexterity saves. Attack rolls are against the creature are at advantage. So everyone's attack rolls against this creature until Garrow's next turn are at advantage.
Ooh, I'm glad that I got one of those strikes.
Yep.
Well, I think I know what I'm doing next.
Yes.
All right. Next up is Teo.
Okay.
There's this huge dragon in front of you. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm giving you guys surprise. So after this, then I'll do that effect.
Okay. Gosh, I hadn't planned on that working so well.
Way to have faith in your team.
We take the successes we're given. Let's go.
That's right. So I guess I'll just use. So I do have advantage, and so I'll do that. I'm just gonna go light crossbow bolt to the face. And a crit is probably pretty advantageous.
Let's go.
I'll say that's 30, 43 damage. Holy crap. All
Good
right.
arrows.
Good Garrow for being
Good
within
Garrow.
5 feet. So now you get sneak attack damage.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, I also had advantage from a couple of other ways. So there was.
Nice crit. All right. Teo steps out, leans sideways, pop, gangster style crossbow, and all right.
Yeah.
Are you moving or are you going to stay behind the thing?
I'm going to stay behind the thing for right now.
Okay. All right. That means it's Dinar's turn.
All right. Dinar is going to walk out, and he's going to cast Draconic Guardian. So a large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. And I'm going to flavor this as it's a draconic spirit. So any creature hostile that moves to a space within 10 feet of you for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dex save, takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save, half as much on a success. So I'm going to summon the guardian here. And then I'm going to use my bonus action for telekinetic and pull the dragon into its range. Because it's stunned, it can't make the save.
Make the save.
So I pull it 5 feet. And then
That
it's
puts
stunned
it in
and can't
range.
make the save against the Guardian either and takes 20 radiant damage.
Huh. Very clever. I like that. That's very clever.
And after that, Dinar is going to head back. Gonna calculate. Where's the distance measuring tool? Is the distance measuring tool gone?
No, it looks like a castle wall now.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It's under the
It's-
magnifying glass.
Oh, magnifying glass. No, I
It's
just
the
see
same,
magnifying
it's in
glass.
the same spot. It's just a different shape now.
It's just a
look,
different icon.
different icon
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's just I don't have that icon. There's 5 icons on my icon thing. There's pointer, draw shape, magnifying glass, which just has this, dice, and question mark.
Mine is there between the dice and the magnifying glass.
Yeah, it doesn't have that.
What
Oh,
are you trying to measure?
how far did I walk over? Okay, right. It looks like I can't walk back, but that's fine. That's Dinar's turn.
Okay. That's Dinar's turn. Owen, you have seen quite the display of firepower against this beast.
Well, I'm gonna roll. Is this gonna roll damage? If this rolls damage, that's not. Well, I guess I can still have. That's the basic damage I add on to it. I'm gonna use one of the arrows.
Makes sense.
And
You have bless, but I don't think you need it.
yeah,
That
have
hits.
bless.
19 hits.
Okay. And then what was the? Hang on. Where was it? 2d.
60, 10.
A 6d10 additional damage,
But,
right?
and he can't make the save because he's stunned. So
Yeah.
it's regular
Hey.
damage plus 60, 10.
Hang on. Let me go to advanced because I'm gonna have to go to advanced to make this roll.
Big money. Big money.
Oh, very clever. 44 plus 10 piercing from the longbow. 54. Y'all are killing me. Like literally. Y'all have done over 120 points of damage to this guy in one round.
I mean, we
How
had
does
a
he
plan.
look?
And your plan is working well.
Yes.
How does it look?
You can make a medicine check. That's not right.
Oh,
It
that's,
looks
I didn't
medically-
need to roll advantage, but
It looks medically pissed off.
9. This is the actual one.
He's hurt. I'll give you that much. He's definitely injured. That arrow did a lot to him. He doesn't even know you're there, so not to mention he's stunned, so he can't use his legendary resistance to
So before the end of my
reroll
turn,
saving throws because he's not making saving throws. So
before the end of my turn, I'm going to duck over here.
All right. Seeing this is going to be the quickest dragon battle in the history of Dungeons and Dragons. I swear. Macath, seeing all of the damage that you all have been able to do with this sneak attack plan, will also step next to Dinar, leaving themselves 10 feet of movement, and is going to cast out a spell as well. Oh, why the hell not? Let's have some fun with this. Yeah, everybody's out of range. Except Garrow.
Oh no.
This might get Garrow, but she doesn't care because she's freeing herself. Let me see what it is.
I can probably
Range.
evade it if it's what I think it is.
Actually, I think she can place it in a spot that will keep you out of it. Let's see.
Okay.
No, he's not moving. It is. This is what's moving. Come on, move where you need to be. Come on, stupid clicky thing. Yeah. She's going to drop it right there. Basically, dropping the edge of it right there. Casting Fireball at level 3.
Well, guess who can't make their save?
Guess who can't make their save? And guess who gets some damage?
Guess who's stepping up? The calf. The big fireball.
Yeah. Why? Show me the damage here. 10, 14, 15, 18, 24, 28, 33. As a fireball erupts, and actually, I think he's vulnerable to fire.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, cold. Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's immune to cold, so
to be vulnerable to fire on the other side.
Would be nice.
it doesn't say so, but you would think typically.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say so, so I'm not gonna give him the vulnerability. Fireball erupts next to you, almost like right, like 3 or 4 feet from you. What did I say? 34, right? Cool. Dinar, if you want to make a medicine check on this guy.
Yeah, Dinar knows a reasonable amount about dragons.
He cannot withstand another one of your hits from anyone.
Well, all right, Garo, it's time to punch a dragon.
All right.
Before you all do, well, actually, it's still Garo. You still have him stunned, so he can't do that yet. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he's vulnerable, Garrett's just going to leap up right on his face and start jamming his fists home with a flurry of blows. Pow.
Fire
pow,
erupting behind.
pow,
Oh, a crit!
pow,
Holy cow.
pow. Sorry, that's one too many.
That's
You have
okay.
advantage on all of these.
Yeah.
Right, I
one-
have advantage on all of them. Sorry, I should have clicked the advantage thing, but
Actually, you're doing 3, right?
it's going to be 4 if needed.
Your second one, again, just like the beast up top, when you punch him, he goes to the ground, and you just start wailing on his head, driving him down more and more and more. You have definitely he lays with a thump on the ground.
Yeah, I'll do all 4 blows just to be sure, but then I'll finally raise back like I'm ready for him to come at me again. But
At the end of it, you're just
still,
turning him into pulp, turning his head
Yes.
into
Hey, you've just
ground
crushed
meat.
in the top of his skull, which is impressive because you know how heavy and thick their skulls are.
I think we just became dragon assassins, guys.
Yes. Dinar at this point is going to shout out a prayer to Bahamut. It's like, thank you so much for this victory.
That's 20, 18 is 38, plus 5 is 43, plus 16 is 59.
I didn't add them all up myself, but that sounds like a pretty good.
59 damage.
Now that's a lot of damage. So did we just one round a dragon pretty much?
Basically,
one round plus one turn, a round plus a turn.
round plus a turn.
basically.
And yeah, so we'll debrief that in a second.
Carol will step back and say, "Oh, he's a little smaller than I thought."
Yeah, it's like I had all these spells. It's like I could heal you. I could use the Twilight Sanctuary to stave off the dragon fear. None of that mattered.
It was
It
still
would not have
good.
even mattered if even if we had not gotten surprised, it would have still gone the same way with that stun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, the
The
stun.
dragon never would
damage-
have got a turn.
How much damage did we all take?
None.
None.
He didn't attack us once.
'cause he
First
couldn't.
thing that happened was Garo went in and stunned him, and then we
Yeah.
killed him before.
Had that
stun wore
initiative
off.
order gone in, if Garo hadn't have gone first,
That's true.
that could have
Like, I
gone
would-
totally different.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so surprised you didn't LR that stun.
I
McCath,
think that's what high level combat tends to be. It's like who attacks first, who kills first.
Yeah.
typically, yeah. McCath will step back, applaud you knowingly, and say, now we just have to fight our way out. Hopefully,
I think we can handle it.
if we take him as a trophy, they won't mess with us.
All right.
Sounds smart.
So, but Dinar is more interested in searching for the Drakhorn. Do you think he would have it in his hoard?
It's possible. Could be
There's
nearby.
a lot of horde to look through.
Yeah, Dinar
Yeah.
is going to go search through the dragon's hoard and see if you can find the Dracorn.
Is there any value to things like dragon scales or dragon fangs or anything like that?
Absolutely.
I would think so.
There's a ton of value in that stuff. Oh, why did you do that?
Hey,
Dragon
Owen, you know
scales can
anything
be used to
about
make
skin?
armor, if I'm not mistaken.
Owen, you know anything about skin and dragons?
I can skin an animal.
I guess just we all work together, we could probably do it.
Certainly take
Yeah.
I can certainly take a look.
Yeah, shall we like go investigate the dragon's hoard for Drakhorns and perhaps other interesting things that might be inside the dragon's hoard?
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Sure, we can.
You're welcome to.
We can skin him later.
Yeah. Let us go loot the dragon and the room. So,
Yeah.
But the first thing Dinar wants to know is the Drakhorn here?
All right. Hang on a minute. We're done with
What
that
is that?
song.
What exactly does the Drakhorn look like again? It's like a.
Dinar will give you a visual description.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Keep
he
an eye out.
knows what this is, so yeah.
Yeah. Not that one. That one. All right. As you traverse through this hoard of treasure, it's actually not a lot. You've seen treasure hoards of dragons, like you saw the hoards being transported. This is less than you traveled with on the road, actually, once you kind of get an idea of all of it that's around. You get through his hoard, which is, there it is. See treasure. You estimate probably 700 gold, 1,000 silver pieces, 20-ish precious stones, various potions, scrolls.
Is there a bag of holding in here by any chance?
Possibly.
Teo reaches into his bag and pulls out a bag of holding and go, yeah, it's a good thing I brought this.
You see, Teo always. This is
Always
why we
prepared.
love having you around.
Teo's a little Boy Scout.
Yes,
And,
I feel like now is an excellent time to shove as much treasure as we can into that bag. Sound good?
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah, more treasure.
Let's say that there are
Guess I could get
7
another cat, too.
potions, 6 scrolls, and we'll come up with them later. 9 various weapons.
Ooh, cool.
Probably a couple of suits of armor down here as well. And then all of the gems and gold that I described. So
All right. We'll shove that into our bag. And by we, I mean Teo.
Indeed. Get in the bag.
Yeah, it's like, it seems like this is the more difficult challenge than the dragon.
yes. But all throughout your hunting, you're digging through this, there's tons of bones and various destroyed pieces of armor and weapons as well, probably from previous heroes that have attempted the same thing. None of them, though, came quite as prepared or as planned as you did. While you've searched all of this area,
None of them had a monk as awesome as ours.
right? You do not find the Drakhorn, unfortunately.
I knew it couldn't be that easy.
You've searched this entire layer. And
Well,
it was a
I'm
big
pretty
one.
sure the dragon could have told us where it was.
Yes, you dress out the dragon, skin him, whatnot, and then you could try to fashion a way back up the chute if you'd like.
I could carry you up one by one with my flying shoes.
How,
I mean, that would actually be helpful, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I don't
15
mind.
feet to the bottom of
yeah,
the ramp.
15 feet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can,
shouldn't be
Dinar
hard
can
to
fly
carry.
as well, so he will.
it would take a spell slot, but I could do that myself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind doing it. So for anyone who wants, I'll do that and get us back up.
Then I will unfurl his wings and
I'll,
fly
I'll
upward.
do that. I'll save my spell slots.
All right. I'll take KO and Owen up, and also McCath, of course.
Right on. Yeah, you take them up. You just try to like head back out the same way you came in.
Yeah, well, it's just the person in the Arcane Brotherhood said that there was like a bunch of scrolls and knowledge that they wanted to bring back up with them.
Yep.
So it's like, now that the dragon's dead, we can presumably do that more easily.
Oh yes.
So,
definitely.
help yourself to
Did
all
we
the
take our-
all the
did we-
scrolls and
did-
books
did
you
we
want, I
take the-
guess.
Did we take the trophy from the dragon that we were going to use to kind of ensure ourselves safe passage?
Yes.
Yeah, Garrow took a big old tooth for himself, just to, maybe make into a necklace or something.
All right, and then what? Did you take the head maybe to return?
Yeah, we basically harvested the dragon. Anything that can be broken down into bits that I can jam in the bag, I broke down and jammed it in the bag.
Yep. So the bag of holding has a weight limit, but as long as you don't pierce the sides of it, it'll pretty much hold just about anything you put in there. It won't hold an entire dragon, but it will hold enough of the hide where if you each wanted to perhaps make or have made a dragon scale breast piece, perhaps, or a piece to put into your armor somewhere, maybe a shoulder piece, or you'd have enough hide to do that, and the head itself. Let's say
Garrow could do some kind of like helmet or like headband, maybe.
Yeah. You could have a spear and dragon helmet. Spear and dragon helmet.
And a little bit of dragon meat, because who hasn't ever wanted to try dragon meat?
Dragon jerky's the best.
Maybe Dinar wouldn't want to eat dragon meat. Maybe that's a little too close to home.
Yeah, maybe not.
And you return back, yes. And McCath is grateful for freeing you. And she says, "We'll gather my things and then we'll make a hasty escape. Before anyone knows that he's even been slain, perhaps we can get out."
Well, you should go let the people in the village know. I'm sure they'll figure it out, but
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely. We can let them
I
know.
mean, we're coming back up to the village anyway. We might as well, yes, we're going to tell them what happened.
okay. You just mean get out of this lair.
Yes.
Yes.
And she gathers her things rather quickly, puts all of the magical items that she needed back, books, scrolls, everything, in a bag of holding that she herself has, apparently. And you all head out of the lair, finding your way back through the mist and the fog, and actually avoiding every random encounter along the way.
Yes! Let's go!
Never using that die again. Into the garbage can with you. You failed me.
The kobolds are gonna bring the dragon his dinner and be like, hello, and just find him skinned.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
you
traumatic.
find yourself back in the chamber with the sickly people, and the staircase leading up.
Yeah. So, Dinar, after we take a long rest, because presumably we're going to take another long rest in there, in the town, he's going to go get Lesser Restoration back prepared, and he's going to use it on these two people.
Okay. So you go back up. You tell them that you'll be back. You'll try to explain that, however.
Or
Is
I
there-
still have tongues. I could just explain it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you did cast tongues. So, yeah, they're pleading with you. Please don't leave us. Please take us back. And you explain to them what you're going to do. You go up the stairs. And waiting for you in the room, she's standing there, Bone Carver, standing there waiting for you to return.
We're having dragon steaks tonight, Bone Carver.
It's dead.
You slayed him.
Yes, we did.
We are
Toss the
free.
head out onto the floor.
Oh, great joy. We are freed. And she grabs the head and she slings the door open and marches out into the great hall where the entire village has come to sit for the dinner feast. She raises the head of the great white dragon above her and she says, "We have slain the beast who controls us." And He shall no longer have a hold over our people. We are free to go where we wish, when we wish, and are beholden to no man. And they all start cheering and chanting, Bone Carver, thinking that she is the one that has slain the dragon.
Yeah. Dinar is not going to correct her because he would actually rather it be kept on the down low of the fact that they killed this dragon, because that will make it less, that will make it more difficult for them to be tracked. Like if there's a story that, oh, you know, these people rose up and defeated the dragon and enslaved them, that draws much less suspicion than, oh, 4 adventurers showed up and killed this dragon that has been enslaving the people. So he's actually going to play along and be like, you know, oh, I saw them. They were so strong and brave, and you know, it was a scary fight, but they were able to slay the dragon and free you all.
Right.
And he's going to sort of, you know, wink to the party. I'm aware, but I want them to think this, and more importantly, I want any cultists who show up to think this.
Garrow's going to look over to the warrior that you fought earlier and just make eye contact and just shake his head.
Nice.
And raise up his still bloody fist, covered in dragon blood.
He looks at you knowingly.
I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out a jar of sweet berry jam and hand it over to Garrow and say, Garrow, I think you earned this.
Garrow takes it like it's a treasure, like more delicately than a healing potion. And he just opens it
which
up,
he doesn't need. Apparently all he needs is the sugary treats.
Gives it a big sniff. Oh, Teo, you're the best. Is he?
No, you, sir, are the best.
That was
digging his big old bugbear paws into the jam, licking his fingers.
Yep. And stories are told around the table as you sit for this feast of fermented fish.
Denara's going to make a point of not eating anything until
dragon meat.
Until everyone else.
I'll eat the cooked dragon meat. Yeah.
And you tell the story of how you defeated it, and you learn that every time this dragon came around, everyone was so terrified. How did you prevent the terror? And you talk about how it was stunned and it couldn't use any of its abilities, and that Garrow's ability to knock it senseless basically rendered you victorious.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, like, I feel like we shouldn't say that.
Well, you'll feed into the story the facts, but
the shaman dealt the killing blow, the mightiest of them all.
Yes, you helped, perhaps we'll say.
Yes, I suppose.
You know that they're not really fond of outsiders. They don't go to the mainland. You think the risk of them actually telling the story of you all showing up and killing this dragon is fairly low, because one, they didn't want to be enslaved by him anyway. They just wanted to be left in peace.
All right. Well, in that case, Dinar is going to, relate the story. It's like, I helped too. My help wasn't really necessary, but I helped.
Yes. And
I did a cool thing where I summoned a spirit and pulled him into its effect so it attacked. And it was going to do so much more damage because I could repeat it every turn. And that was not necessary at all.
Yeah, he only started with 215 hit points.
Only.
And by the end of the first 3 attacks, he was down to half, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. This sucks.
But he probably could have frozen some of us in 1 hit. So it's
his first action after the end of your turn. If you had somehow not killed him, I'll tell you later. I want to finish the game because I want to get out of here before our other game. We'll save that for the AMA this month, as we have to have one. At some point during the festivities, Macath comes to you and does ask that you escort her back to the host tower to return the treasures of the Arcane Brotherhood and return her safely. And she will guarantee the Arcane Brotherhood's alliance in your fight against Tiamat.
All right.
Sounds good.
Dinar is willing to do that. But he's also going to, after the feast, he's going to excuse himself. And he's not going to mess around this time. He's going to use the Dragon Sanctuary. He's going to set up a tiny hut and he's going to start taking a long rest, and he's going to go grab Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, and you go take care of that as well. Maybe the next morning. The next day, you all are prepared. They have brought in, the captain has actually come back this day. He explains that they encountered some weather and they weren't able to make it yesterday, but he's glad to see that you all have mended fences with the people here, and he's happy to carry you back should you wish to go home.
That is indeed our plan.
About that time.
And so you go and heal the people. They are even more grateful now that you've returned some of their sickly to health and returned them to the village as they prepare to move from this cursed iceberg to somewhere else. You load aboard the ship with Macath and all of the treasures. The dragon. Do you tell the captain about the dragon killing?
Yeah, definitely.
Garrow, okay.
Well, I think we should say that the dragon died, but not specifically that we showed up, stunned it, and killed it in one round. It's like, working together, we were able to free these people of their servitude to a dragon.
Okay.
Well, I'll just say we took care of things.
Took care of things, right?
Yes. Dinar is being purposefully light on details because this person absolutely could, tell other people who could tell other people who could tell the cult.
Right.
Just to be sure, I'm going to make sure that my bag of holding is well protected in a hide bag itself. So it's basically double bagged.
Okay.
So,
You got quite a lot of treasure in there, don't you?
Oh no, there's nothing in here at all.
Okay.
Nice. So yes, you return. You tell him that you need to get Makash back to the host tower. He takes you to where you can get there quickly. You return Makash and the treasures of the Arcane Brotherhood. They swear their allegiance to fight with the Council of the Sword Coast and
the United Adventure Company.
And the United Adventure Company against the Rise of Tiamat. They ask that you take the message back to the council at Waterdeep with their representative, and they will report there with you. You all gain a level, so make sure you level up between now and next adventure
Huzzah.
time.
Level 9.
Huzzah! You are level 9. Level 8 characters defeating a freaking dragon in 6 seconds.
Let's go. Yeah, don't mess with Gara.
Right?
I'm pretty sure the theme of this whole session was just don't mess with Gara.
Pretty much.
If he offers you honey, take it.
Yes.
Arrow loves a good fight. So.
Yes, he does. What a great fun episode. Got a little bit of debrief with you all before we actually shut off the stream. Just give me about 5 minutes. But then we'll be back next week with our regular schedule. Friday night, we're off again. We've got some scheduling conflicts with Delta Green. But we'll be back with that very soon to wrap that adventure up. We may do something else. I don't know yet. We're thinking about some things behind the scenes. But again, if you enjoyed this, make sure you give us a like, a thumbs up on the video, and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can get notified every time you go live. Join us on Discord for a conversation. You could talk about this game, other games that we play, or just talk crap with us and share goofy memes, because that's really what our channel is all about. It's just having fun. And if you'd like to support the channel, please make sure that you join our Patreon and support us with anything from $2 to being an Uncle Rockefeller level sponsor. We'd really appreciate you if you took the time to share a little bit with us so we can make the experience for you even better. Until next time, folks, I'm Jackal Crossing, the Dungeon Master for this campaign, and for Dinar, Owen, Garrow, and Teo, the United Adventure Company, stay out of our dragon bellies. Until next time, good night, everybody.
Oh man, well that was a session.
Oops. Wrong exit screen.